This young man just woke up and saw an egg floating right in front of his face. Luan thought that he stayed up late last night, grinding Free Fire past 180 minutes. So he was hallucinating. But even with other people, he could see eggs on top of their heads. The only difference is their eggs are white, while Luan's is black. Moreover, there is a string of numbers on the egg that looks like a countdown. So trippy. What if he stumbled upon a one-time use toy from the Muslim bros? Then he would be totally screwed. In class, his friend Lai Dain suddenly invited Luan to party tonight, hearing that the senior Tian had picked up a supergiant egg and wanted to invite the brothers for a mukbang. Thinking this might be related to the black egg on his head, Luan agreed. At exactly 7 p.m., everyone gathered at the West City Park. The young man with the curtain hairstyle named Tian was the one who invited them here. But Luan suddenly discovered, in the group, only this guy was the only one without an egg on his head. Very quickly the group approached the wall. Since Luan was born, the wall has existed and covered the entire world. Legend has it that if anyone can successfully cross the wall, they will reach the outside world. Upon arrival, the group started urging Tian to take out the big egg for the brothers to inspect. But he didn't reply, only giving an eerie smile. The very next second, a red egg crawled out of his head. Witnessing the horrifying scene, the group was terrified and hurriedly bolted. But before Luan could run far, two ghostly hands immediately grew out from Tian's back, grabbing him tight. At this moment, the red egg on his head transformed into a monster. It opened its large mouth intending to devour the black egg, but since it's his egg, it was somewhat on another level. Very quickly, the black egg quickly used a stealth technique, causing the red egg to be hit with a strong illusion confusion. Immediately after, from the two sides of the black egg, a pair of sharp wings suddenly grew out. With just a few basic moves, the red egg was immediately wiped out right then and there. Consequently, Tian's body also collapsed. Seems like if the egg breaks, the person is done for too. While Luan was busy thinking and not paying attention behind him, from the fragments of the red egg, a seed slowly grew. When the seed fell to the ground, a parasite broke the shell and crawled out. It stealthily crawled towards where Tian's corpse was, then quickly burrowed straight into his leg. Tian's body, which was lying motionless, suddenly convulsed violently. Then, under the gaze of shock and disbelief of Luan, the corpse stood up and stared at him with eyes full of hatred. Luan felt a chill down his spine. Sweating like he was in a shower, he suddenly realized that after reviving, Tian had an extra hole on his chest, looking like a keyhole. Looking up, he discovered the black egg had started counting down. He forced a smile, shocked to the point of fading away. Time was already running out. He really just wanted to ignore everything and lie still. At this moment, dark clouds rolled in the sky in waves. Tian, carrying an aura full of red light, advanced towards him. Your egg is pitch black. Unlike us. Must be a variant. Luan stepped back one step at a time. He was confused. Variant? What variant? Can't you say things I can understand? Tian's face suddenly darkened. He tilted his head and spoke slowly. Human, you must have realized that the people around are all white eggs, right? They are food. And I, the red egg, am a red egg soldier. And you, the black egg, are a variant. Luan looked at the black egg above, then at Tian in front. In a moment he became confused. Red egg soldier, variant, listening to this makes my head spin. I don't even know why it's black. His skin suddenly became pale. Tian bared his teeth and growled. Variants can be captured or hunted and killed. But I prefer hunting and killing. As soon as he finished speaking, he leaped up from where he stood. Luan was startled for a moment seeing that. In just a blink of an eye, Tian with unimaginable speed had rushed right in front of him, hands sprouting sharp claws. Tian powerfully swung his hand down, unable to defend in time. Luan was scratched by those sharp nails, blood spurting out. Then he lost his balance and fell to the ground. Reacting at this moment, Luan looked up at the black egg above in utter astonishment. Why, black egg? Then he startled, not helping at all? Weren't you super powerful just now? Seeing the opponent freeze, Tian retracted his hand and laughed mockingly. Oh, so you were relying on it? That is impossible. Luan turned to look at him, seemingly not believing what he just heard. Tian smiled at this moment, revealing two fangs. He continued, when we are in the form of independent eggs, we cannot attack humans. Unless, speaking up to hear as if stimulated by something. Tian once again rushed up to fuse with the human. Seeing the figure rushing towards him, Luan hurriedly leaned over and jumped to the other side. where the ground was pierced by claws, emitting white gas. Du Tian raised his head and glared up. Ahead, Tu Luan took the chance while he wasn't reacting to run for his life. What is all this? I would never want to merge with an egg and turn into such a horrible form. But just a second later, with a leap, Du Tian appeared behind his back. Then he kicked Tu Luan's back hard. Caught off guard, he was kicked down lying flat. Du Tian once again took momentum and leaped off the ground. He quickly used his legs to pin down both sides of Tu Luan. Before he could sit up, his face gradually turned green. Du Tian bared his teeth smiling, long claws raised. Let me stab your head into pieces. Cold sweat ran down Tu Luan's cheek, he turned his head in fear. About to die, at this moment, a blurry vortex suddenly appeared in front of the two. Du Tian stopped his movement, his whole body suddenly froze. Strange. So strange, why can't I move suddenly? Tu Luan seemed to realize too. He was momentarily startled. At this time, Du Tian's eyes gradually became dull. Seizing the opportunity, Tu Luan stood up abruptly and pushed him away. He couldn't help but wonder what this guy wanted to do. The vortex from the black egg gradually retracted. Tu Luan stopped being curious and ran for his life. Whatever, run first, calculate later. He rushed past the withered tree branches. Tu Luan just kept running without looking back. After a long while, he finally started to notice the surroundings. Strange, been running for over half an hour. Why haven't I gotten out of the radiation zone yet? Am I lost? On the tree branch, something nimbly jumped past. Below, Tu Luan was still only worried about running. Damn it. I don't know if that guy chased after me. But I'm about to not be able to run anymore. At this moment, someone was sitting on the tree branch looking down at him. AMG up in the air couldn't hide the excitement. Master, a pitch-black object. And it even made the worker egg's time stop. It is definitely the doomsday egg. Nam still looked without taking his eyes off. Hearing that, he reminded, don't easily jump to conclusions. Observe a bit more. After a while, the forest was completely quiet. Tu Luan escaped the forest and ran straight to a cave. Great, there is a cave ahead. Hide in there first, then figure out the next step. Entering inside, he leaned against the rock wall panting. Exhausted me to death. Looking again at the black egg in the air, Tu Luan couldn't help his curiosity. Right, that guy couldn't move just now. It was you who helped me, right? Time at this moment showed only a few minutes left. Tu Luan was startled to realize, wait, this time. He looked up, eyes wide, mouth gaping in surprise. Why are there only 3 minutes left? Impossible. Before there was clearly a lot of time left. Watching the time decrease moment by moment, Tu Luan thought quickly, no way. If it explodes like a bomb, then staying here means certain death, right? Then he clung to the rock wall, following it to turn around and step out, in his heart telling himself to quickly leave this place. Is it due to excessive panic? Why does my whole body feel like it lost all strength? But just as he turned away, Tu Luan slumped down, determined, whatever. Dying anywhere is still dying. He bowed his head. At this time the time around counted down from 20 seconds. Taking a deep breath, Tu Luan looked up abruptly and shouted loudly, damn it, fine. Come if you want. Saying that. But he couldn't hide his anxiety, and swallowed his saliva. As he watched the time decrease from 4 to 1 second. But Tu Luan's eyes were focused, not leaving the black egg. At this moment the number on its zap turned to 0. Tu Luan covered his face and turned away, screaming in fear. I don't want to die yet. Why is there no movement? He curiously squinted his eyes to look out, only to see the black egg's wings folded back. Inside it seemed like something appeared. Bolts of black lightning spread out. Tu Luan bewilderedly lowered his hands. A series of black light beams shot up into the sky. From within the black egg appeared a key. Seeing it, Tu Luan couldn't help but gape. What is this? Is this a key? Then the black egg flew lower, bringing the key in front of his face, the key body pointing forward. Tu Luan was still in disbelief. It's telling me to take it? Thinking so, he cautiously reached out to take it. A small sound rang out. Tu Luan had pulled the key out of the egg's body. At this moment the displayed numbers. Time on the egg started moving. Tu Luan, watching intently, was slightly surprised, only to see on the black egg's body, the clock had returned to a full 24 hours. What happened? Why did the time restart? At the same time outside the cave entrance, someone walked over. This person hummed a song while walking. Du Tian's face darkened. However, his mouth still wore a stiff smile. He just walked and sang like that towards the cave entrance in the distance. Nam and AMG were observing everything. Seeing that, AMG asked, this worker egg is really brave going inside. Should we follow? Nam immediately ordered, follow. But absolutely do not. Let them discover our existence. But inside the cave at this moment was complete silence. Luan was still bewildered, asking himself, what exactly is going on? Why did it restart again? He didn't notice Ju Tian had entered the cave. His eyes staring wide, mouth smiling slightly, exclaiming a sound. Hearing the sound, Luan startled, trembling as he turned around. No way, why did he come here? Ju Tian slowly walked out, gently licking a bit of blood remaining on his fingernail. The smell of your blood is really fragrant. In his heart, Luan sighed. Helplessly, it was already messy enough. Yet this guy still wants to intervene. Must he kill me to be satisfied? Thinking of this, his eyes suddenly became teary, looking pitifully at the black egg, begging. Black egg, continue to help me. If you help me escape this situation, I will try to grant whatever you want. Yet at this moment the black egg remained silent, completely motionless. Suddenly a zap sound, the whole body of the black egg suddenly spun in midair. One wing pointed at the key in Luan's hand. The other pointed at the black hole on Du Tian's chest, who was now saying in disbelief, Huh? You are in egg form but want to attack me? Someone who has fused with a human? Finished speaking, he impatiently swung his claws, slashing a line in midair. Truly daydreaming. Luan's eyes widened. Completely not reacting, he thought to himself, black egg. You mean, you want me to stick this key into the keyhole on his chest, right? Only then did the black egg nod. Luan immediately gripped the key in his hand tightly. Okay, I get it. Seeing him turn his head to look over, Du Tian again used a provocative tone. In your hand. Since when was there an extra huge key like that? Could it be you intend to use that cheap toy to attack me? But on the contrary, what Luan focused on was the keyhole on his chest. Then he took momentum and ran quickly forward. Du Tian closed his eyes and let out a breath. He raised his voice ridiculously. The moment Luan stabbed the key forward, Du Tian leaned over and easily dodged it. Then he swung his leg up again. One kick sent Luan flying into the rock wall, not far away. He frowned slightly in pain, feeling a bit conflicted inside. This guy's skills are too fast. Very hard to get close. Du Tian ahead smugly spread his arms, smiling face walking closer. Didn't expect you human to be so stupid. Using this slow thing to attack me. How can it hurt me even a little bit? Luan pursed his lips tightly. His eyes once again sparked with determination. Looks like he really hasn't discovered the keyhole on his body. Then I still have a chance. Thinking so, he gently placed the key in his hand down. Luan used his strength to stand up. He loudly provoked the opponent. This ragged weapon is too bad to use. My fists still feel better to use. Come here, you trash soldier. Hearing these words, Du Tian seemed to be provoked. Huh? Trash? Right as the words ended, he rushed fast to strangle Luan. Who are you calling trash? Saying that, he also clawed his face. Just seizing this moment, Luan grabbed the key and shouted loudly. Black egg, throw rocks at him. Hearing that, Du Tian startled and turned to look. Luan held the key and stabbed it straight into the hole on his chest. Du Tian felt the movement and glanced down. Behind the rock wall, Nam, hiding and observing, was momentarily startled. Shoot. Then seeing from the lock hole a stream of green gas gradually spilling out into space. Luan widened his eyes in surprise. What is happening? Immediately after, the green light in his eyes dropped like a water droplet to the ground. Luan's body uncontrollably was sucked in strongly by a force. Startled awake. Before his eyes everything had completely changed. Here? Looking around at a place with giant spheres and a weird pitch-black thing in front, Luan asked loudly. What on earth is going on? Right at that moment Nam rushed over from somewhere, grabbed his arm and reminded in a low voice. Idiot, don't speak so loudly. Hide quickly. Luan turned around in surprise. He unconsciously ran after him. The two then hid behind a large rock. Fanla walked over from afar, voice echoing in the space. Tinos, was there some noise just now? Tinos nodded and replied. Your servant also heard a very small noise, like the sound of insects. Luan widened his eyes in surprise, covering his mouth tightly, watching the giant figures of Fanla and Tinos stepping past him. He thought in terror, GI giants? What is going on? But just like that, the two silently watched those two figures gradually walking away. Only then could Luan lower his hand and let out a breath. So scary. Where on earth is this? Why did I suddenly appear in this place? Thinking of this, he looked down at the key in his hand. Wait, this key brought me here. Right, black egg? He raised his head, seeing the black egg nodding in silent confirmation. Luan's face immediately turned pale green. with a helpless expression, secretly lamenting, "Oh my God. Why can't I just live peacefully in a normal way? Must you drag me to this hellish place?" Nam beside him looked at him with great suspicion. Feeling the gaze, Luan regained his composure and turned around, startled. Nam stared at him intently, thinking to himself, "This kid can actually space jump to the world of giants. I remember that person also brought me here once. It's just that the memories from back then are very fragmented." He ignored the other person and remained lost in thought. "But this place looks somewhat familiar. If I'm not mistaken, this is the gathering place of the giants." Luan pursed his lips tightly for a long time before whispering, "That thing," before he could continue. Nam interrupted in a low voice, "Other matters later, leave this place first." Luan also quickly agreed, "Okay." After agreeing, the two quickly left the hiding spot. Nam went first, Luan carefully ran behind. While running, he took the opportunity to observe the surroundings. That big round sphere floating up there. What exactly is it? Only to see above the two of them, countless pitch-black spheres with strange blue lights were floating. Luan thought to himself, "There's quite a lot of them." At a certain point, Nam suddenly raised his hand to signal a stop. At this moment, a sphere in midair was sucking in gathered streams of gas and waves. Luan opened his eyes wide in surprise, muttering, "Is something about to appear?" Nam beside him didn't reply but thought, "This breeding sphere is about to spawn." The very next second, a slimy substance dripped down from that black hole. A strange shape appeared. The moment that slime hit the ground, hiding behind the rock, Luan couldn't contain his curiosity. "What is that?" Before his eyes, a creature looking like a merman, with a completely green body crawled out trembling. Luan was startled, jaw dropping. A faceless merman? Nam in front also widened his eyes in disbelief. Is it a beastman fusion? Makes sense. This place is full of giants. No need to turn humans into giants anymore. Suddenly a giant pair of eyes appeared behind them, making the two freeze. From behind, Tino slowly walked out, his voice low and deep, "Found you." Turns out, it's two little bugs playing in the breeding ground. Immediately after, it swung its sharp claws towards Luan. Nam reacted in time, hurriedly pushing his head down. Then he took momentum and leaped up. Just like that, Nam rushed straight towards Tinos, his hand emitting a source of blue power. He swung his hand high. Nam agilely waved his hand. The power shot out, striking Tinos's body, and he didn't forget to look back, reminding the other, "Fend for yourself." Luan regained his composure and sprang up. "Got it, thanks." Then seizing that opportunity, he turned and ran. While running, Luan looked around thinking, "Damn it. At a time like this, I can't be of any help. Can only run." "Huang Luan, you are truly useless." Suddenly someone raised a hand and snapped their fingers. Something flashed past Luan very quickly, causing him to be heavily injured. Immediately after, Luan's body collapsed powerlessly onto the ground. Black Egg looked up, startled to discover it was Fan Law approaching. At this moment the Black Egg's whole body trembled incessantly. In a blur, Luan's body was sinking underwater, surrounded by flashes of spiral light. A call echoed from the body. "Am I dead yet? So annoying, is my life just going to end like this? I still haven't found my biological parents. I don't want to die yet. I also really want to be loved by parents. Just like other people. So at least let me know who they are before taking me away." At that moment, an egg shot out from his body into the distance. Seeing that, Fan La's figure couldn't help but freeze. His whole body stiffened, feeling uncomfortable inside. Thinking, "Is this damn egg pulling a trick? Why does my body not obey my control?" Only to see the Black Egg at this moment, ceaselessly transferring energy into Luan's unconscious body. A moment later his body suddenly blurred, then turned into a cloud of purple smoke. Seeing that, Fan La couldn't help but be momentarily startled. Dissolved? On the ground covered by thick purple liquid, suddenly a small droplet flew up, followed by streams of black liquid being pulled along. Then gradually they gathered into a certain shape. In just a flash, a body was gradually formed. The egg had now turned white. It floated above the head of a white-haired person. At this moment Luan, in the Anchaman transformation state, had completely awakened. Glancing sideways, a dense aura immediately radiated around his body. Seeing that, Fan La couldn't hide his shock and withdrew his hand. "What is this strange aura? No good. The insects here are extremely dangerous. Must escape quickly." At this moment, Luan was approaching him step by step. At the same time, Fan La was being pinned by Tinos's claws tightly on the ground. Sensing something, Luan startled and turned his head to look back. Then he turned and ran quickly towards him. feet pushing hard against the ground to jump up. Tuoluan rushed forward, continuously throwing punches at Tinos's face. Waves of power radiated under the chin. Tinos was beaten until he couldn't react in time. At the same time, Nam also sprang up, escaping from its claws. Seeing that, Tuoluan, covered in aura, kicked hard at Tinos's face. Then turned and retreated far away. He took momentum again, leaping up and rushing forward. Tuoluan's figure was incredibly fast, swinging his leg to kick straight at Tinos. With just one kick, it was sent flying into the ground. At this time Nam was still watching Tuoluan intently. He turned and reached out to support him. Looking at the hand still lingering with aura in front of him, Nam couldn't help but exclaim. This ceaselessly overflowing power is terrifying. Then he grabbed Tuoluan's hand and used the leverage to stand up. Thanks. At the same time, Tinos in the distance also stirred. 3 spheres appeared on its head. Those 3 spheres glowed. From within, green lightning bolts spread out and connected them into a triangle ring. Nam's eyes widened, his whole body jolted, hurriedly shouting. Not good, run quickly. A powerful stream of energy surged out. Bastard, go die. Tinos lowered his head, focusing all his power forward. Tuoluan stepped up and used one hand to block it. Tinos looked up in disbelief. What is happening? Only to see at this part, Tuoluan turned around, emitting a series of incomprehensible sounds from his mouth. Unexpectedly, both Amchi and Nam were momentarily stunned. Tuoluan was still using one hand to block that power. At this moment Black Egg hurriedly came over to translate. He swung the stick and said everyone gets a piece. No one loses out. Seeing Nam still bewildered and not understanding, Tuoluan opened his mouth again, trying to make sounds as if wanting to speak. Black Egg, what's wrong with me? Black Egg explained, in combat mode, it's forbidden. Slap sound emitted. Tuoluan cried out again, forbidden to emit sound? Why is that? Behind, Amchi flew back and forth trying to interpret. Each person 1x0 no one knows anyone? Nam looked on with round eyes. Seems like it. In front, Black Egg suddenly reminded, be a bit serious. Hurry up and unleash your strongest move. Only then did Tuoluan realize. Then he turned back, eyes focused forward. Dense aura radiated from his fingertips. Tuoluan couldn't help but marvel to himself. So this is a strong move? Truly magical. In my head, it suddenly appeared. The steps to execute the move. Watching him gradually operating it skillfully. Waves of lightning wrapped around that energy. Black Egg beside him cheered. Right, this is called energy soundstone link. Tuoluan thought, please, it's erosion energy. A second later, a giant stream of energy transferred from his hand, covering all of Tinos's power, beating it back. Surprised, Tinos couldn't react in time. His whole body staggered. The power pouring in increased more and more. Tinos glared, collapsing directly onto the ground. Only then did Tuoluan wave his hand, retracting that source of power. Seeing this scene, both Nam and Amchi were simultaneously speechless. Then they simultaneously stared at each other wide-eyed. Black Egg only now sucked back. The energy source transmitted into Tuoluan's body, gradually returning to normal. He finally regained his voice. What happened? I can speak now. Aura returned. Black Egg quickly regained its original color, chi limit reached. Hearing that, Tuoluan couldn't help his curiosity. You mean extreme limit, right? Far away, Fanla had secretly observed everything. These 2 worms both have an egg beside them. Could this be the ancient egg relic? His eyes focused on Amchi and Black Egg. Impossible. Impossible. The more he thought, the more unreconciled he felt. Even Lord Nakui couldn't make the ancient eggs. Revived just by relying on these 2 worms. I must be overthinking. The eye in front suddenly emitted faint lightning. From within came a soft voice. Colleagues, Lord Nakui has brought that VIP to the Garden of Giants. Through the bronze mirror door. Giants nearby, please get ready. Be prepared to await orders. Sensing that, Nam and Tuoluan both startled and looked over. At this moment Fanla slowly pressed a button on his hip. Thinking, great, so Lord Nakui has returned. Offering them to the Lord. Will surely be wonderful. Let's decide on that. Immediately after, from that button emitted a very ear-piercing sound. Hearing this sound, both of them were simultaneously stunned. Looking at Fanla placing his hand on the hip button, Tuoluan asked loudly, is this a warning sound? Or sending a signal to accomplices? At that same time, the ground beneath the 2 rose up with waves of liquid. Just a second later a giant monster appeared. Startled turning back, Tuoluan was too shocked to speak. Beside him Nam was equally terrified. From nowhere a series of giant monsters simultaneously approached, gradually surrounding the 2. Luan looked around blankly with round eyes. What the hell is this? Why are there so many? Power radiating in his hand. Nam reminded in a low voice, what are you staring at? Let's cooperate to break the siege first then talk. As soon as he finished speaking, he took momentum and leaped up. Luan stood on the spot watching. Nam in one path. Dealt with a series of monsters to break the siege. He was so shocked his mouth gaped, secretly exclaiming, truly strong. Seems like he can handle it alone. Basically doesn't need my help at all. Thinking so, Luan quickly ran following his steps. At this moment a sharp cold claw swung over. On the running path. Luan was still able to agilely dodge it. At the same time a sharp tail extended out. Luan also easily leaped up and jumped over, making even himself suspicious. What is going on? Running while dodging every attack. He couldn't help but secretly marvel, so magical. I can actually lightly dodge the attacks of these weird creatures. Why are the movements of these weird creatures so slow? At this moment, Nam, who was attacking a monster, also noticed. Luan seeing him easily dodging. Amchi said with some surprise. Master, this kid's skills are also decent. Nam kept watching and explained. It's not that his skills have improved, but that he has slowed down the attacks of those monster seeds. Now I can be sure 100% that black egg is the doomsday egg mentioned in the ancient texts. Hearing that, Amchi seemed to think of something. Then should we? The two running side by side. Nam, still not taking his eyes off the other, interrupted. No, now we are in the world of giants. The situation is unstable. So this is still not the best time to seize its ability. Amchi, somewhat confused, whispered again. But master, if we can strip away the ability of the egg, black egg sooner, then we will be able to leave here sooner. And return sooner to save the young miss. Fine. Nam suddenly waved his hand, power flaring up. He snapped, don't be hasty. Focus on the current situation. Amchi fearfully replied quickly, understood. Luan leaned to dodge two claws stabbing towards him. He looked amused. Black egg. Look, I can also easily handle them. Black egg beside him. Reminded, Luan, speed up, that giant silver will be active in 2 minutes. Hearing these words Luan was momentarily startled. What? Black egg in the air instructed again. Remember to bring back the key stuff. Hearing that Luan suddenly stopped. Muttering with a confused face. Key stuff? Right, the silver key. Black egg continued, returning relies on the key stuff. At this moment he remembered, oh man, almost forgot. Silver key. Recalling earlier the key was placed on the ground. Near Fan La's spot. Currently it still lies there. Luan was sure he wasn't wrong. It fell near the giant. Then he turned and ran back. Seeing that Nam didn't ask, only wondered secretly. Where is this kid running to? The surrounding space was a patch of silence. Luan avoided a series of monsters, quickly running towards the key. Sure enough it's here. At this moment Fan La from above was glancing down. Seeing that black egg hurriedly urged Luan, hurry up. Luan quickly bent down to pick up the key. I know. Watching the giant hand reaching out. Black egg panicked and shouted. Big trouble Luan, he wants to snatch it first. Hearing the sound Luan also startled and turned to look. Right at that moment. Fan La's fist slammed hard onto the ground. When lifted, that place was empty. Only crushed rocks remained. Fan La's body trembled slightly. He paused, thinking angrily, what the hell? Hardly managed to move. And now stuck again? The dust gradually cleared, revealing in the distance the figure of black egg. Carrying Luan. He opened his eyes wide, holding the key in his hand while panting ceaselessly. I thought I was dead just like that. Thanks, black egg. Black egg then moved slightly. And moved Luan. Then it gently placed Luan on the ground. A second later black egg went limp. It fell down powerlessly. Luckily Luan reached out in time to catch it. He temporarily held the key in his mouth. Personally checking black egg. Black egg, what's wrong with you? Can you hear what I'm saying, black egg? A series of questions rang out. Black egg remained silent. Luan immediately worried. Black egg, don't scare me. Fan La could now move again. He swung his hand. His deep voice echoing. Sure enough it was because of this thing that I was stuck. The eye in the center flashed with a cold glint. Fan La growled. Without this thing's help, let's see where you hide. Seeing that, Luan hugged black egg and turned to run. He thought to himself, don't worry. I won't let anything happen to you. Not getting far. Fan La easily lifted him off the ground with his hand. He said smugly. Look, where can a little bug hide? At this moment a noise came from afar. It was Tinos running over. Seeing him, Fan La couldn't help but rejoice. Tinos, great, you're okay. Suddenly Tinos took momentum and stomped hard on the ground. Fanla watched with some surprise, only to see Tinos nimbly rush over and snatch Luan. Watching him get further and further away, Fanla behind was stunned. Hurriedly called out loudly, Tinos. Wait, Tinos, what's wrong with you? Tinos in front. Tinos didn't pay attention and turned to run straight ahead. Turning his head back to look, Luan thought with some confusion. What's going on? Is it helping me? Could it be that the erosion energy technique has control and submission effects? Luan was a bit tense at this moment. He was held in Tinos's mouth and carried away. Very quickly Nam arrived at the place it passed by. Without waiting for him to react, Luan urged, hurry up, it's on our side. Amchi and Nam, though a bit bewildered, still replied. Okay, I got it. He quickly jumped up very high. Nam gently landed on Tinos's back. It just kept running straight ahead. Meanwhile, Fan La at the back screamed until his throat was hoarse. Tinos. Suddenly his steps paused. Wait, Fan La lowered his head speculating. This small egg can control Tinos. If that's the case, then perhaps I can utilize its power to retrieve the giant shell from the insect emperor. It's done. This time, I will definitely receive praise from Lord Nakui. Great Lord. Scene switches to where Tinos is running past. Luan, holding black egg, didn't turn his head back but introduced himself. My name is Huang Luan. What about you? What's your name? Are you from here? Nam introduced himself while honestly recounting. My name is Dong Nam. And we came here together via a space jump. At that time, I was in the cave because I detected an anomaly with the worker egg. So I entered. His words surprised him. Time jump? Could this be the ability of that black egg? Suddenly Amchi unexpectedly approached Luan. While he was still bewildered, it affirmed, that's right. This is exactly its ability. Luan was dazed, looking at black egg and the key. So this key is the thing used to return, right? Suddenly Fan angrily shouted loudly calling Amchi. Luan turned around hearing that. While it seemed not to care, a whip suddenly appeared from outside the black egg. That whip swung hard towards Amchi, making it unable to react in time. Nam seeing that immediately rushed over. He conveniently hugged it to protect it. Suddenly Luan seeing it move joyfully called out. Black egg, you woke up? Nam didn't say much and retreated. He scolded in a low voice. Amchi, if I didn't call out, were you planning to be reckless? Why not get injured? It immediately replied with a trembling apologetic voice. Master, I'm fine. Sorry. Suddenly Luan startled discovering something strange. Isn't that a wall in front? Before their eyes was a wall blocking the path. Because they couldn't go any further, so all four had to get down to examine it. Luan touched it with a surprised look. Feels like a wall. This feeling, could it be that this place is outside the wall? Is our original world lying right beyond this wall? Black egg standing nearby suddenly trembled. But when he noticed it, he couldn't help but worry. Moreover, Black egg, are you okay? Black egg, sensing Luan's concern, quickly reassured him. I'm still fine. I just activated the backup cage for defense. Just a bit tired, temporarily. Cannot use abilities. Luan surprisingly turned to look at it. Defense? Did that Amchi egg attack you? Black egg replied somewhat reluctantly. Not sure, it just automatically activated. But Luan, we cannot trust others too much. Hearing that, he also felt it made sense. I understand this point. After all, after that incident, I don't trust others anymore. Luan's childhood memories resurfaced once again. I know for sure you are fake. You are not my biological parents, go away. In his memory, at that time, those two people just looked at Luan, then laughed savagely. Seeing him dazed like that, Nam also turned to pay attention. He quickly spoke to inquire. About that, first we can understand a bit about the current situation. How do you feel? Luan bewildered replied, huh? Okay, you speak. Both of them after a moment of examination stood facing each other to talk. But Nam was the first to speak. You said that you inserted the key into the red soldier egg socket and immediately arrived here? That's correct. The black egg must have used him as a medium for the door. This amount of information made Luan instinctively clench his hand. The red soldier egg is the medium of the door? He seriously affirmed, correct. Him not being here is the best proof. He then blankly looked at the key in his hand. Ah. So it turns out it's because of this key. Then Luan suspiciously turned to Black Egg. Black Egg, you. Tell me, Black Egg, where exactly is this place? Is this place really outside the wall? It suddenly moved a few times, startling him. Black egg, without a word, landed straight on the ground. It used its wing tip to draw a few lines on the ground. Nam seriously watched every movement. Tuoluan also looked on blankly. When finished, Black egg opened its mouth to instruct. Done drawing, we are here. The thing it drew was a map shaped like an egg. Tuoluan became more and more confused. I don't understand this at all. Are we in another egg-shaped world? Outside this wall is too weird. Even. Nam was stunned for a moment at that sight. No, we are not outside the wall. But are inside? Hearing that, he looked up in surprise. Huh? That made him speechless. Black egg on this side was still very diligently explaining. That's right. According to the diagram, we are still inside the wall. Look, this is where we are standing. Tuoluan was startled, unable to believe it. What? The place we are standing is originally just a small part of this egg? How can that be? It continued to run around to instruct. This is Tunoi. This is me, and then to the current position. He squatted down pointing and wondering. What about this large part? Black egg shrugged helplessly. This area hasn't been revealed yet. According to it, the small area above has been revealed, but the large area below has not. But Tuoluan looked down in surprise. Such a vast area is still unrevealed? This egg-shaped wall looks really big. The area we are living in is just a tiny part? But it doesn't look much like a sphere. Black egg pointed to the area right above and explained. That is the visual zone created by the human brain. Nam immediately seemed to understand a bit. More precisely, it's an illusion created by the wall. He still didn't understand what was happening at all. Wall? The wall again? He slowly opened his mouth. Sometimes what the eyes see may not be real. Tuoluan stood up abruptly and asked urgently. Do you know anything about this wall? Nam honestly recounted. I only know that the wall is a living creature. And it even has its own will. Hearing that, he was stunned. Living creature? We are living inside a living creature? This is too weird. Seeing Nam had no more to say, he reminded him. I think you should ask that black egg. It might know even more than I do. But it just shook its head helplessly. I don't know. My memory starts from the moment Tunoi and I first saw each other. Right, Tuoluan suggested. But you can draw the map. You must know something. Black egg had to explain about the map. It's because I discovered the singularity. Tuoluan listened blankly. Singularity? What is that? Nam interjected. A singularity is where time and space are distorted. Right? Black egg approached the map and instructed. Previously we passed through two singularities. Through them, connecting the two locations. That is just how we suddenly appeared here. Tuoluan asked bewilderedly. So if we want to return, we have to go through these two singularities, right? It frankly stated, no. Because these two singularities disappeared after I used them. Tuoluan was stunned and probed. So how can we return? Black egg quickly answered. Through the key. It has memorized our initial position. You just need to find the hole door created by the synchronization process. Then we can return. Hearing this, he also remembered yesterday's event. Door hole? Is it like the keyhole on the soldier red egg before? It nodded in agreement. That's right. That was created to synchronize with this side. Tuoluan widened his eyes speculating. What about the door hole on this side? Is it the place we were just sent to? Black egg helplessly replied. Originally it might have been there, however. While trying to grasp the singularity, it was interfered with by an invisible force. That information surprised him. Invisible force? It flew up high while recounting. I fear that this power will take us to another place. Luckily I copied the coordinates into the key beforehand. But the door hole was taken out by that power. Amchi behind felt surprised. Taken out? Even Nam had to frown tightly. Could it be caused by the Nakui demons here? If that's true, then it's big trouble. Tuoluan squatted down asking. Black egg, where was the door hole taken to? It pointed to a spot in this revealed area. The more he listened, the less he seemed to understand. Why aren't you saying anything? Suddenly Nam approached pointing in a direction. Black egg. Do you know where this spherical place is? It honestly answered. This appeared when that area was revealed. So I don't know either. Tuoluan suspiciously asked, spherical? Looking closer, there is a circle on it. Nam suspiciously came up with an idea. Wait, appearing together means it can be found in the world of giants. Right? Immediately hissed loudly as if it was exposed. So it can be found here. He hearing that was startled and panicked. Nam's facial expression affected Tuoluan too. According to Black Egg, I can be sure. This isn't the first time they came here. From his calm reaction on the way, I already felt something was off. It suddenly proposed, I will go ask him. Hearing that, Tuoluan panicked and stopped it. Don't, if he doesn't speak, it means he doesn't want to. Let's not make it hard for ourselves. He surely knows quite a lot. If we can't find the key, then he will be our retreat. He made a request. Therefore we must always stay by their side. Must not let them leave our sight. Black Egg immediately nodded in compliance. Nam and Amchi. On this side also had worries no less. Master, just now. Did we act too close? It seems. We should stop asking about core issues first. It's better. Just as they thought that, Luan suddenly turned to them. Flashing a friendly smile that startled both of them. He suggested, Black Egg, that taken position. Can't the range be narrowed down? It quickly replied. No problem. Actually we can use the sharing function of the key's vision. Luan asked blankly. Key's vision sharing function? He on this side was also startled and confused. He stood up pointing at the key. Use this key? Black Egg quickly affirmed. Because the key and the door hole are connected. So the door hole can see the view through the key. And the key can also see. Luan got straight to the main point. So how do we do it? Without much talk, it took the key. Give me the key. Black Egg pointed the plug end of the key towards Luan. Don't be afraid, just relax and then close your eyes. He obediently obeyed. Luan slowly closed his eyes tight. A stream of power from the key twisted. The split end pointed straight at his eyelids. After a while, Black Egg slowly spoke, all right. Now you can slowly open your eyes. Luan accordingly slowly opened his eyes. When he looked closely, he was stunned and eyes widened. Inside Luan saw a large spiral. The scene inside gradually changed. Is this the perspective of the door hole? Under this semicircular screen. Seems to be a city. After adapting for a while. Luan stared blankly at the tightly bound hands. Huh? 2 hands? This door hole is indeed placed on a human body. Locked like this. Is this a prisoner being escorted? Then the person escorting him. He looked up at the figure in front. Must be that woman. She is sitting with a high and mighty posture. Suddenly she turned her head towards Luan. Huh? Her hand gently executed a technique. His vision accordingly became dazzled. It gradually narrowed the field of view. And finally closed shut. The space was pitch black. Luan now startled and opened his eyes wide. I got hit. Did she discover me? Black Egg seeing this rich expression. Couldn't help but wonder. Luan, what's wrong? He urgently recounted what just happened. The door hole was shut down by a mysterious girl. I guess. That girl is the one who took out the energy source. And it seems she even saw me. It slowly explained. If the door hole is attached to a living creature, then when sharing vision, the pupils will change a bit. Nam curiously inquired. Anyway, if this girl has the ability to extract, then being discovered by her is possible. But did you see everything around clearly? Luan sat down drawing on the ground with his hand. A city lying under a transparent white membrane. Circular like this, like this. After a while of diligent work, he reluctantly drew it out. Then judging by the scream. The person inside the door hole is a woman. Moreover, her 2 hands were locked tight. Amchi bewildered, locked? This door hole's identity is a prisoner. Or an object being escorted. He asked more about the situation. So is there any other information? Hearing that, Luan continued to instruct. The woman who just took out the door hole was wearing a pure white outfit. Looks quite young. There were 2 other people on her sides. They seemed to be in a cave. And looking at the semicircular screen city in front. You mean here? 2 figures dressed in sealed clothes on the ground. Nam quickly probed further. What about those 2 other people? Did you see their faces? How were they dressed? Luan looked up and replied. These 2 were clearly larger than the woman in white. They wore hooded cloaks so I couldn't see their faces. Don't know if they were giants or not. Black Egg suddenly took the key and approached. Right, Tunoi. I forgot to mention, the numbers in this countdown. Is the time the key exists. He blankly and innocently wondered, existence time? What does this mean? Black Egg had to explain. Meaning when the time is reset to 0, the key will disappear. Hearing that, Luan finally realized the severity. What? Suddenly Nam stood up abruptly signaling to stop talking. There is movement. Both immediately scrambled to run behind Tinos. A black shadow suddenly appeared from the rock crevices. He urgently whispered a demand. We must leave here quickly. While speaking, Nam suddenly froze for a beat. Behind Luan's back. A figure had appeared unnoticed since when. Nam immediately shouted, Fuang Luan, behind you. He immediately started and turned to look. Manito was hugging him tightly. Luan was quickly dragged straight down to the ground by her. Seeing that, he hurriedly ran over, Fuang Luan. He gritted his teeth trying to remove the thing wrapping around him. What is this thing wrapping around my stomach? Is it a vine? I can't pull it off, even. Black Egg couldn't resist the power of Manito. Both were gradually being dragged by her towards the rock crevice. Damn it. Let go. Inside the rock crevice, noises suddenly rang out. Nam was startled and panicked when he heard them. A foot slowly stepped out from within. De arrogantly stepped out from the rock crevice. Nam immediately got into a combat stance. With one hand, he easily grabbed Black Egg. De and Manito grabbed the two of them tightly. Black Egg and Tuan. He proposed. Let me borrow this black ancient egg relic for a moment. In exchange, I can tell you where that city is. He was immediately startled hearing that. Ancient egg relic? Why does he call Black Egg that? De raised his voice again asking, how about it? Nam didn't reply but questioned back. Since when did you start stalking us? The girl hugging Tuan quickly replied. It all started when you guys were playing hide and seek with the Tinos group at that breeding ground. But you guys are too slow. Taking so long to discover us. Hearing that, he widened his eyes in surprise. What? It started from that time? He seemed to have lost patience. De growled, so annoying. I asked you, how about it? Nam immediately shouted back, how about what? You captured people. So is that how you make a request? Manito spoke sarcastically in a low voice. Request? To need to request you? Giving you face but you don't appreciate it. Tuan also paid attention to her words. Duh? He smirked and decided arrogantly, so? You mean our negotiation has failed? Then I will kill the masked guy. You have no objections, right? Owner of the relic egg. Tuan heard that and was bewildered. Wait. Suddenly smirked with amusement. He rushed towards Nam with rapid speed, making him unable to react. So fast. De struck a blow but it just passed through Nam's body. Only when he felt nothing did he become surprised. What's going on? He passed through my body? He just rushed straight through Nam's body. Then he turned back towards him again, utilizing his speed, and continuously attacked Nam from multiple sides. Meanwhile, he was still bewildered. What is happening? Why does he keep passing through my body like this? Only when taking a direct hit was Nam stunned. What? It wasn't a shadow? Consecutive punches were thrown, leaving him unable to counter. Damn it, this time it's a physical attack. Does he intend to use clones to distract me, and then use his real body to attack? Fine, I figured out your trick. Now wait for my counterattack. Then a figure suddenly appeared from behind Nam, terrifying him. It was another clone of Nam disguised by Da. He smirked slyly. Turns out the thing you fear most is yourself not wearing a mask? He was stunned, eyes wide with horror. Nam angrily dodged, avoiding that approach. Bastard, you actually probed my inner mind. Da stood back and laughed mockingly, truly ridiculous. This is the first time I've seen someone afraid of themselves. Without a mask. What the hell is this? As if hit right where it hurts, Nam. Furious, decided to fight to the end, bastard. Both quickly rushed into a fierce battle. Manito standing outside watching had to exclaim. This guy is compressing air. To create explosions? Tuan shouted a reminder, Dong Nam. Don't be fooled. That guy basically never left. Sure enough, De has been right beside you all along. Nam immediately froze in place. What? Tuan turned to De then loudly reminded Dong Nam. He didn't strike at all. The one you fought was an illusion. He immediately argued. If it's an illusion, then why could I punch him hit by hit? He was immediately surprised. This is simultaneous. Creating both real and fake clones? Manito behind also excitedly smirked. Your eyesight is really bad. From the start, it has always been one, okay? To deal with him. Just one clone is enough. Tuan paused, De curled his lips, not minding showing off. My ability. Can freely swap between the main body and the clone. Can swap completely. Or swap parts of the body. Hearing that, she was startled and scolded. Hey. Why did you casually reveal your ability like that? Tuan was also dazed. Swap completely or part of the body. No wonder real and fake can continuously switch. But why did he tell me? His ability? He honestly replied, this is my sincerity. Tuan frowned and thought. Sincerity? This guy decided on his own. However, revealing his ability also shows that he really wants Black Egg's help. Very quickly to return to the battle. Look, caught him. Over here. Nam was not only caught but also beaten up badly. To turn to Tuan with a serious face, teammates? But according to what I observed along the way, he seems to have a different purpose from you. Though he didn't reply. Doubts rose in his heart. Teammates, not really teammates. We just met. Although I don't know for what purpose he approached me. Tuan looked at Nam again. I rely on him to find a way out. So it's not like my purpose is innocent either. Just using each other. Why care so much, right? Black Egg, it quickly replied, my life also depends on Luan. It's also mutual exploitation, so I listen to you. Those sincere words moved Luan. Black Egg, he decided to take a gamble. Duh. Let's renegotiate seriously. Duh, having achieved his goal, commanded. Manito, let go of him. She was a bit unwilling. But he didn't hesitate to shout, hurry. Finally. Though unhappy, Manito still put him down. De urgently proposed, speak. Luan quickly requested, release Dong Nam. He happily agreed. That's easy. Luan frowned and added seriously. And one more thing. I want you to personally lead us to that city. Just those two conditions. De paused hearing this, personally? Manito behind unhappily shouted. You dare make conditions with us? And want to be personally escorted? Luan immediately retorted. He emphasized the word negotiate. You tell me what negotiation is. His words made her speechless. De heard it and had to laugh in amusement. You're good. Black Egg standing aside panicked ceaselessly. Luan, what if he doesn't agree? Luan quickly reassured it as well as himself. He is so strong, having him escort us. Just bluffing is enough. Moreover, he asked you for help. As long as our request isn't too excessive, the chance of him agreeing is still very high. So even if pretending, we must pretend to be very firm. Without a word, he strode closer to Luan. He bowed his head looking straight into his eyes. Look at his eyes, are you sure I will agree? Luan's eyes still didn't waver a bit. That made to curl his lips in interest. He finally agreed temporarily, fine. But have to see if it can perform well. The tasks I assign first. Those words made Black Egg sweat in fear. What exactly do you want to do? Dissatisfiedly made the request. Very simple, help me control the giant corpse. Luan was shocked and asked back. What is the giant corpse? Nam was no less startled than him. He then generously released Black Egg and said, go. Just released, it resentfully crawled into Luan's arms. Luan, he also carefully picked up Black Egg to examine. The thing imprisoning Black Egg. Can it be removed? De replied indifferently, just a safety measure. Let's go. A sound also came from this side. Luan startled turned to Nam's side. He concernedly asked, Dong Nam, are you okay? He quickly stabilized his body. I'm fine. No need to support me. Nam's words made him step back just as he was about to help. Luan hesitantly advised. I agreed to help him. So we must temporarily get along with them. But after what happened, he was angry enough to want to tear the other apart. Peaceful coexistence? Living with that guy is absolutely impossible. Seeing that, he could only smile bitterly in helplessness. Seems like he is angry. Best to talk less. Don't make him angrier. De walked ahead leading the way, this way. Luan asked bewilderedly. Hey, riding on. The giant monster would be faster, right? But he frankly affirmed. We don't need that thing. Luan bewilderedly looked at De then at it. Is that so? Right, Black Egg. The time the giant monster can be controlled is how much longer? It checked for a moment then replied. Less than half an hour left. He seemed to have his own thoughts, that's enough. Tinos who was lying still suddenly sprang up. It rushed through the rock crevice and bolted away. Try to run wild, giant beast. As far from here as possible. De saw that and couldn't help nodding, oh. This kid also has some brains. The group quickly entered inside. Luan suddenly spoke up breaking the atmosphere. Manito just said. That faceless merman is your teammate? Was he human before? She immediately growled in frustration. Yes, when we arrived to save him it was too late. He was put into the human breeding sphere beforehand. All damn deeds done by Fan La. He wanted to lure De out, so hateful. Even he was angry to the point his face turned grim. That one-eyed monster. Sooner or later I will cut him in half. He finally realized. Turns out. They came to this human breeding place to save a teammate. Then discovered us. On the rock wall appeared a button. They approached and pressed that button with his hand. Immediately a secret door opened. Luan looked down in surprise at the place below. An underground tunnel, huh? He apprehensively looked into that deep hole. But there are no stairs. Suddenly his hand was placed on Luan's neck. His foot raised and kicked his back. He delivered a kick. Easily kicking Luan down below. Making him scream miserably. Black Egg seeing him in danger hurriedly shouted. Luan. Luan was pushed into the bottomless space gate. It didn't hesitate and rushed towards him. De just stood there watching then smiled. Without hesitating a second. He slightly pushed off his feet then rushed straight into the space gate. The group. Manito suddenly appeared walking out from the dark. Dong Nam and Am Chi looked at her. Manito shrugged and spoke. Don't look at me, do it yourself. Take it. She took out a cocoon from her person. Hand gently extended towards him. Dong Nam took it, staring suspiciously. Is this a cocoon? Looking at his back. Manito spoke, just stick it on the skin. I recommend sticking it on the back of the neck. Or use the back skin. Suddenly Dong Nam holding the cocoon in hand. Startled turning towards the space gate. Seeing him dazed. She stepped forward, I'll block the rear. You go quickly. Back to Tu Luan who was free falling. He kept feeling something uncomfortable on his neck. Strange, why is my neck so itchy? He reached his hand to the back of his neck. Suddenly touched a cocoon. While wondering, he had caught up from behind. De grabbed Black Egg ignoring its struggling. Tu Luan went pale, wings. Looking at his bewildered expression. De couldn't help teasing. Don't be so stupid. Use your brain to control the butterfly wings on your neck. Tu Luan regained his composure. Hand still holding the cocoon tight. You are the stupid one. Suddenly getting kicked by you. Understanding nothing and told to control what butterfly wings? He didn't bother arguing with Tu Luan anymore. Quickly flew away. Almost there. Good luck to you. Black Egg shouted, Tu Luan. Tu Luan hurriedly cried out, hey, wait. He held his hand tight, gritting teeth cursing silently. This hateful guy. Is this how you treat someone you asked for help? It transmitted sound from afar. Tu Luan, spread your wings like him quickly. Tu Luan also wanted to try but with the cocoon behind. I also want to. He just said. Use the mind to control this thing on the neck. Seeing the ground below, he panicked. Hey, really about to hit the bottom. Tu Luan closed his eyes tight, sweating all over. Hurry. Spread the wings for me quickly. It struggled worriedly into his hand crying out. Tu Luan. The cocoon on his neck suddenly spewed out a lot of black gas. Just as Tu Luan's head was about to hit the ground. The black gas stream suddenly split into two large strips, rising up to catch him. Spread out for me. The ground suddenly cracked open, he flew up into the air. From behind him, energy streams gathered, forming a pair of wings. He and Black Egg. Looking at this scene, question marks appeared over their heads. De smirked evaluating the wings. Butterfly wings have a fragile soft structure. Just a tool for flying, having no power at all. His eyes glanced at the cracked ground over there. What are these cracks on the ground? Could it be that this kid's butterfly wings changed attributes? Tu Luan excitedly looked left and right at the wings. Wow, truly magical, really flew up. In his heart suddenly rose a bit of interest. This kid's ability is also interesting. Dong Nam's voice transmitted down from above him. Tu Luan, are you okay? That guy likes playing shady tricks. Be careful. He looked up. Luckily at the last moment. These butterfly wings also spread out. Then Black Egg was released rushing to Tu Luan. He smiled slyly. Glancing sideways at him, playing shady tricks? Pot calling the kettle black. Aren't you also probing his ability? If not then what? That Tinos was so weak that before taking many hits, it was already pinned to the ground? Hearing that, Chi was the first to react. It's not like that, if not because Master was. Dong Nam seeing it about to slip up shouted, Chi, stop talking. People like him can never communicate with. De wasn't afraid. On the contrary challenged, the loser under my hand. Has the right to talk to me? He gritted his teeth. If you're so good, fight me one more round. He didn't bother to care, quickly turning around to leave. Tone it down a bit. Dong Nam shouted from behind. Stop right there. Tu Luan was speechless. I, the victim here, had you guys play shady tricks on me. And haven't even said anything. Yet you guys turn around and argue with each other. He flew after Chi beside him. Wondered suspiciously, Master, what's wrong? That's not like you at all. Dong Nam sighed, sorry. After being by that guy. Seen through to my inner mind, I just feel restless and annoyed. It looked at him with worried eyes. Master. Dong Nam reassured. Don't worry, I will calm down. After flying for a while, they arrived at a colorful mountain range. Tu Luan flying behind looked around and asked, where exactly is this place? It's a completely different scenery. He led the way and replied, this is the Black Tree Den. One of the relics of the ancient eggs. Hearing that, he was surprised as if remembering something. Ancient eggs? Black Tree Den relic? Right. Earlier you called Black Egg an ancient egg relic or something. Why call it that? De glanced back and slowly explained. 100 years ago, this place was just like you guys now. Everyone had an egg beside them. But then someone from the forbidden land of the egg world brought back some kind of calamity, causing the eggs to gradually disappear. Finally, this place became the deathly state it is now. Hearing that, Tu Luan couldn't hold back his curiosity. Forbidden land, disappeared? So, that means now, there are no more eggs beside anyone? De nodded patiently. He explained, saying that's right, they are almost extinct. That is why they are called ancient egg creatures. But, however, there is one exception. That is the ancient egg relic known as the Titan shell. Little Lewin was surprised and blurted out asking him, "Is that the Titan shell that you said you wanted Black Egg to control? What exactly do you intend to do?" His brows furrowed as he nodded seriously. "That's right, I want to control the Titan shell to find the poison flower of the dark tree." Little Lewin went from one surprise to another. "What is the poison flower of the dark tree?" The girl flew up in front of him, impatient. "That is the antidote for giantification. With it, disarm. And his mother will also be." De interrupted her, shouting, "Manito, shut your mouth for me." As if understanding what was in little Lewin's mind. His arm and his mother have both suffered giantification? His eyes looked towards that gloved hand. No wonder he wears such a large glove. Little Lewin's gaze was still glued to that hand. His hands, proportionally speaking, were not even 1/3 the size of that one-eyed giant. This giantifying matter is probably constantly corroding his body. He secretly speculated in his heart and thought, it must be very painful. Sensing his sympathetic gaze, he turned around. De raised his voice, his tone loud and firm. "Listen, little Lewin. You guys don't need to worry about anything else. Just help me find the poison flower of the ing tree. And that's enough." Hearing this, he cast aside his worries and asked, "Okay. That's right, earlier you said someone from the forbidden zone of the egg-shaped world brought disaster back. Did you guys already know this world is egg-shaped?" He turned and walked slowly forward, nodding. "Correct, I learned it from my mother. She called this egg-shaped world the life ovum." "Life ovum? What exactly is this egg-shaped world, Mother? Did she imply anything else?" He shook his head coldly, not wanting to say more. That's it. On deeper topics, she kept her mouth shut. Seeing his expression, he didn't ask further. And Ji, walking beside Dong Nan, transmitted a voice message to him. "The master of the Forbidden Zone. That guy mentioned must be that circular central region, right?" Dong Nan frowned, his face looking a bit unpleasant. "Probably. The crow demons have always probed this center. But there was absolutely no information. The deeper we go, the gloomier the mountains become. I didn't expect to discover it on the map now. Black Egg must know. If the crow demons find out, this Black Egg and little Lewin, I fear, will become targets they covet." After a moment of silence, he couldn't help but speak up. Honestly, I won't hide it from you. Our time remaining is less than 21 hours. So we must find that city quickly." Pausing a bit, he gave little Lewin a reassuring look. "Don't worry, I know the fastest route there. Besides, my business won't take up too much time." Saying that, De quickly flew down. "Go down. We have arrived." Dong Nan. Hearing that, as soon as his eyes touched the ground, he was startled. Beside him, he was also slightly surprised. As soon as they landed, the wings retracted. Little Lewin exclaimed, "These butterfly wings are amazing," retracting themselves upon command. As he walked, he looked around and noticed. Come to think of it, what are these things wrapped in blocks over here? Seeing little Lewin's eyes glued to the cocoons, the girl spoke up. "Those things are protective cocoons. If De and I weren't both here, I'm afraid you would have become their food already." Little Lewin didn't reply, but was surprised inside. "Huh? So inside these cocoons are monsters that eat live humans?" Rustle rustle, his footsteps stopped beside a cocoon. Seeing it moving slightly, little Lewin thought, quite scary. Then they continued deeper inside. Leading the way, De stopped and spoke. "We're here." Dong Nan and the boy looked and were momentarily stunned. In front of them was a giant egg, chained by 5 chains. "This is the Titan shell? Is it that much bigger than the Black Egg?" De shook his head, raising his hand forward. Action. The eggshell was slashed open to reveal. Inside was a dark green egg. The whole group was startled. Standing stunned in surprise, not saying a word. He pointed inside, breaking the silence. "Kid, do you see clearly inside? That is the true body." Their eyes were glued to the Titan inside. Little Lewin used telepathy with it. "Although it's nearly as big as you, Black Egg. The green light around its body feels very dangerous. Actually, it hasn't even been a day and it formed so many layers of shell." He widened his eyes. "One day? Speaking of which, how does it turn people into titans?" The girl didn't answer, stepping towards the Titan. Then she used her finger to poke the giant eggshell. "This spot." Manito pointed at them and asked. "The giantification effect is mainly in this 3rd layer. Did you notice the giant sphere in the sky of the giant breeding ground?" As if realizing something, he nodded and replied, "I understand, they use its shell to make the sphere, to conduct the giantification." The girl nodded, her voice a bit hesitant. That's right. This Titan shell is used through this method to turn this world into this hellish state, then execute their hegemony. Hearing this, doubts rose in little Lewin's heart. De walked over, using his gloved hand to pull the Titan out. It was slowly dragged out by him decisively. De grabbed the chain stuck in its back and pulled, his eyes becoming sharp and cold as he shouted. The existence of this relic is a disaster. It sensed danger and couldn't help but speak up. Stinky brat, you hurt your great lord. Hearing that, De didn't hesitate to spit and scold, Great lord my foot. The Titan huffed coldly. Dare to talk to your great lord like that? Want to find the ing flower of the poison tree? No way. He brought it. In front of Black Egg, quickly control it for me. It was about to say something when the Titan interrupted. That thing? Apart from your great lord, is there another relic? Absurd. Absurd? What's absurd? The Titan sneered, truly ignorant. This atmosphere still contains the remnants of the fatal egg nectar. If your great lord wasn't inside there, creating a protective shell, you would have died long ago. Little Lewin caught the key point and asked, fatal egg nectar? Can you explain that? Not waiting for it to answer, De explained. It is the disaster brought out from the forbidden zone that I told you about before. Behind him, the girl stepped up and continued, this nectar is a terrifying existence for eggs. But after absorption, it becomes a deadly poison. This nectar, it seems to have adapted to the environment here, able to evolve into a microbial state. It multiplies endlessly in the air, ultimately causing the collective death of eggs. Little Lewin was worried. What? Black Egg? Do you feel uncomfortable anywhere? It shook its head. I don't feel uncomfortable, no. On the contrary, I feel living here is more comfortable. Seeing everyone staring at it, the two communicated telepathically. Hey, Little Lewin, did I say something wrong? Ignore them, as long as you're okay, that's best. He turned to look at the man, then at it. Dong Nan. What about your NG? Dong Nan, who had been observing, shook his head. It's fine. It's like guessing something. Does it mean perhaps the difference of not being from the same world? He didn't tell Little Lewin the truth. Actually, no. At first, when NG was led to the Titan world, it was almost poisoned to death. It looked left and right, not knowing what to say, so it kept silent. Both Dong Nan and NG turned around simultaneously. This black egg can live freely under the egg nectar. That causes death because it has immunity? Or does it, like the egg nectar, also come from the central region? His eyes were glued to it and Little Lewin. So against the disaster brought from there, it might not be affected. The mysteries on him really come one after another. The girl's voice rang out, interrupting Dong Nan's train of thought. I am very curious about your world. Is it true that everyone has an egg? He nodded. That's right, everyone has one. Seeing no one paying attention to him, De shouted, stop being curious about that. That? Black Egg, quickly control the Titan shell for me. But Black Egg shook its head, proposing. Must wait a bit. Before this, leaving Little Fury in combat form consumed quite a bit of energy. So to activate the resonating stone energy, I still need some time. He gradually lost patience, frowning as he asked, when will it be ready? Give a specific time. Black Egg pondered for a moment then hesitantly replied. This egg nectar is nourishing my body, so recovery should be faster. Estimated about 15 minutes. The Titan and his hand trembled, retorting, liar. Stop lying to your great lord. How can egg nectar nourish you? Seeing it so agitated, Black Egg shook its head, whispering, I'm not lying to you. The Titan, angry and still unbelieving, shouted. You are definitely lying. Behind them, someone rushed over. Twin has woken up. His eyes widened, asking back in disbelief. Really? My mother woke up? That person nodded, yes. Receiving confirmation. De threw it towards the big eggshell. Lock it back up. The girl nodded, okay. De quickly squeezed past the two people and left. Looking at his retreating back, Little Lewin turned around. Let's follow him too. After walking for a while, they reached a cave. He looked around the cave and frowned, thinking, this place has too many turns. If we don't follow closely, it's very easy to get lost. Come to think of it, where do these passages lead? While wandering in his thoughts, Little Lewin suddenly realized. The front is different. Then everyone followed behind his footsteps. I remember to once mention this place as the Black Tree Pit, one of the ruins of the ancient eggs. Just as they entered, the final gate opened. So this place is the central area of the ruins. Little Lewin's eyes darted around, noticing the carvings on the wall. He slowly slowed down to observe more carefully. Suddenly Little Lewin noticed on the hand of the statue, The person in this mural is holding an egg, right? These small dots lining up into the egg. Is it drawing humans? So eerie. Wait. He and Black Egg stopped, glued to the image on the wall. Could this be a miniature projection? Describing this egg-shaped world of ours? Little Lewin squinted to look closer and discovered. So these small dots are us? It can't be. Behind, Dong Nan and Ji also recognized it. It used telepathy. Only the two of them could hear, speaking up, Master. Didn't we hear before? That as long as we find Crow Demon Zero, we can find the true exit of the life. Ovum. Looking at this mural now. Could it be that the location drawn on it is the true bearing of the exit? He pensively looked at the black dots on the egg. And gee, if this place is an egg ruin, then it means this place is likely a place worshipping the egg. If the true bearing was known, the exit would probably have been discovered long ago. It frowned and sighed, its voice intermittent. Compared to finding the exit, now I'd rather find a way so that guy won't control you, Master. Hearing Nji say that, Dong Nan also fell silent with a sullen face. Pausing a bit, it reminded him again. Master? We should better suck the energy of Black Egg quickly. Now. I forever have no way to use my ability to support you. Dong Nan replied. I know you worry about me, but I'm really fine. That guy modified you. He coerced and threatened us to find the world-destroying egg for him and absorb its energy. His gaze was still glued to the boys back in front. But I feel this is not his true scheme. His true scheme is to use us, to approach Huang Tuan and Black Egg, to lure them into helping him find the true exit of the life. Ovum. Determination flashed in his eyes. So his real purpose is outside the wall, leaving this eerie egg-shaped world. And Ji was speaking halfway, when little Lewin stopped in front. So what should we do? Should we absorb? De hurriedly lifted the curtain, unable to hide his joy. She had a pale face, looking at him with giant legs. Mother. The person lying on the bed was Twen, De's mother. She smiled at De. Worry appeared on his face as he asked hurriedly. You've finally woken up. Do you know how long you slept? Twen nodded, glancing behind. I heard Gwynny say it's been over half a month. De knelt down by the bedside. How do you feel now? Are your legs still swollen and painful? Twen withdrew her gaze, looking at his smiling face and replied. It's okay, not much pain anymore. This made De extremely excited. Mother. From now on you don't need to suffer this tormenting pain anymore. Very soon we will find the poison flower of the dark tree. Hearing these words, she was vaguely confused. Huh? Then Twen noticed there were two more people behind Manito. Her voice was slightly surprised mixed with curiosity. These two gentlemen are? Little Lewin stepped forward friendlily, smiling. Hello, Auntie. Not knowing why, facing him, Twen stammered a bit. Hello, young man. De turned to look at little Lewin and asked. Mother is very surprised, right? Suddenly his hand grabbed Black Egg. De brought it in front of her happily. It's this. This relic can help us find the ing flower of the poison tree. Twen widened her eyes and gaped. Black Egg was a bit awkward. Hello. In her head, she suddenly remembered the image of her husband before he passed away. Wife, I have thought of the name for the child in your womb. De. Call him De. Named De. Don't speak yet. After taking out the bone bridge, there's still a way to live, right? Tell me. A Shuyan, with weak breath, reminded. Wife, listen to me till the end. An egg, entirely black. When it arrives, it is the day your great limit has come. When that time comes, you must dodge. Saying that, he drew his last breath. Finally, Twen hugged his body and screamed. Wait. It doesn't matter when I die. I just need you to live now. A Shuyan, don't leave me. She stared at it, thinking in her head. A Shuyan, what should come has come, cannot be dodged. Black Egg was stared at until it sweated profusely. The egg entirely black. Forecasting my great limit is coming. Her eyes were glued to it, not speaking. Twen was still immersed in her messy thoughts. Although a Shuyan's prophecy was very accurate, in many situations, the images in the AJ don't have a connection in essence. That also means the cause of my death may not necessarily be related to Black Egg. It's just that the prophetic images coincidentally appeared together at the right time. Seeing her dazed, he worriedly called, Mother. De's voice pulled Twen back to reality. She turned to look at De, puzzled. Mother, what's wrong? Twen smiled to reassure him. Nothing. That's right, De. Just now you said, this black relic can help you find the ing flower of the poison tree, is that right? But most of the ing flowers were destroyed by the Titans long ago. Besides, the ing flower knows how to run away on its own. Hearing this, little Lewin asked in surprise. Knows how to run away? Isn't the ing flower a plant? Her eyes looked at him, nodding. Correct, but it is different from normal plants. When encountering danger, it will run away on its own. Catching it is not easy. Doesn't that make it a spirit then? He turned around, smiling confidently. Don't worry, there is a way to lure it out. The Titan shell can secrete a special substance called egg congealing bomb. It can attract the ing flower. Seemingly he also understood his intention. So you want Black Egg to control the Titan shell, to secrete the egg congealing bomb. But the Titan world is so big. Secreting the egg congealing bomb, it might not necessarily be able to let the ing flower smell it, right? He withdrew his smile and replied with a serious expression. We have found a few places where the ing flower might be hid dash. Ing. She glanced at Black Egg, so that's it. This little guy has control abilities? Perhaps it really can help deneutralize the poison of the giant flower. Twen's face lit up with tenderness as she looked at him. This brat was very clingy when he was little. I didn't expect him to be able to stand up and take charge on his own now. Although his future growth, I might not necessarily be able to see. But now, the most important thing is to ensure his safety. Memories flooded back into her mind once again. For over 10 years, we have always been hiding. Hiding from the pursuit of the crows. If it weren't for Chuan's bone sphere, protecting the two of us, mother and son, we would have been caught long ago. Returning to reality, Twen unconsciously touched the back of her neck. Before my day of death comes, the bone sphere must be handed over to Da. Behind her, there was a large scar hidden by her hair. But this thing corrodes humanity. Without strong spiritual power, it is very difficult to control it. My current body is also suffering backlash. She didn't want to worsen his mood. Can Da withstand it? Moreover, right now, if we can find the antidote to restore Da's hand to normal, that would naturally be good. Twen still carried worry in her heart. But what if they have bad intentions? Or what if they are Na subordinates? Black Egg suddenly used voice transmission with her. Are you afraid of me? Its voice resonated in her head, making Twen panic. You really are afraid of me? Is it because I look very ugly? She regained her composure and transmitted back. Is that little Black Egg talking to me? It nodded. That's right. Something on? Your body is forcibly establishing a connection with me. She was surprised and voiced her speculation. Something? Is it the bone sphere? Black Egg repeated Twen's words and said. It's called bone sphere? Just now. It seems to have detected your fluctuating emotions, and then established a connection with me. Starting from the moment you opened your mouth to answer me, we officially established a telepathic exchange. Looking at her expression, Black Egg affirmed. Are you feeling afraid? Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Although I look pitch black, I'm not a bad person. Its words made her heart bloom like a flower. Immediately, Twen leaned forward and pulled Black Egg into a hug. This sudden action surprised him. Twen hugged it tightly, afraid that if she let go, Black Egg would disappear. I'm sorry. Through the bone sphere, I felt your genuine affection. It's been a long time since I felt such a warm current flowing into my heart, making me feel so at ease. Da looked at the scene and called out worriedly, Mother? She didn't pay attention, transmitting a request. Then looked at them. Little Black Egg helped to neutralize the giantification poison. Twen looked toward Xiao Luan, smiling. I'm counting on you guys. It nodded in her embrace. Definitely. Rest assured. Since Little Nu has agreed to Da's request, no need to ask. We will do our best. Twen replied, thank you. Having received its help, Twen spoke up, telling Little Black Egg. Next, I want to speak privately with these two. You guys. She looked at its bewildered face and sighed. Some secrets about the egg world that my husband, Na, learned when he was a crow demon. Saying that, Twen looked at Da. He seemed to understand, went out, and closed the door. She just returned from her mission when she saw Da, Dong Nan, and An Chi outside. Da? Why are you guys outside? Hasn't Twen woken up? His hand clenched into a fist, his face darkening. Mother wants to talk privately with that brat. Manito was slightly startled, thinking to herself. This tone suggests he's about 80 to 90% furious, doesn't it? Not wanting to get involved in this anger, she quickly found an excuse to leave. I remember I still have some unfinished business. She had only taken a few steps when Da growled. Calling her back, spar with me. Ignoring his words, she quickly ran for her life. Rude. Da's face darkened as he looked at Dong Nan. Hey, defeated subordinate over there. Didn't you say you wanted another match before? Want to fight now? He didn't know what was going on. But since he was challenged, he would fight. Bring it on. A while later, he and Black Egg lifted the curtain and walked out. Black Egg, so it turns out. We are the first group of humans dumped into this egg-shaped world. And the one behind orchestrating them is that mysterious him? What the hell? As he walked, Shaoluan was immersed in his own thoughts. Is this him utilizing this life ovum, this egg-shaped world, to raise food? Thinking of something, his footsteps unconsciously stopped. Food? Could it be that we are the food? That's right, it's eggs. I remember the red egg soldier once said white eggs are food. In Shaoluan's head, he voluntarily recalled Yao Tian's face. Human, you should have discovered. Everyone around is a white egg, right? They are food. And I, red egg, am a red egg soldier. You, black egg, are a variant. He understood immediately, so that's what it meant. A piercing sound interrupted Shaoluan's train of thought. Looking back, De and Dongnan were walking over. Shaoluan looked at them suspiciously and asked, "By the way, where did you guys go just now?" He replied, "Just killing time." But he suddenly noticed a bruise on his face. Dongnan hurriedly turned his face away to hide it from him. Sharp-eyed Shaoluan stepped forward and asked Dongnan, "Why does your face look more swollen?" He dodged, "No, it's your hallucination. Speaking of which, that backpack on your chest." Shaoluan replied, "It's Aunt Twen gave it to me to hold the key." Seeing him about to leave, he hurriedly spoke up. "Right, don't go. Aunt Twen said she wants you to go inside for a bit." He didn't bother turning his head, his steps not stopping as he declared, "No need anymore. It's time for us to depart." Looking at his back, Shaoluan couldn't hold back. Wait before leaving. Aunt Twen probably has something very important to tell you." De looked back, his face still seething with anger. Huh? Important matter? Important matter? Didn't she already tell an outsider like you? What else is there to say? Hearing his tone, Shaoluan immediately realized. What is this guy throwing a tantrum about? Black Egg and I both heard it. Aunt Twen spoke to us privately. All because she's worried about you, you idiot. De turned his head, the corner of his lips lifting in sarcasm. You, Shaoluan. Just go be her son then. After all, this biological son is just an outsider. He clenched his fist, muttering. Really? He shouted, huh? Didn't hear you, speak up. Unable to hold back anymore, Shaoluan shouted angrily. I am saying, you idiot. What kind of bratty temper is this, huh? Think it's great to have a mother who loves you? What are you showing off for? De heard the words idiot and brat, feeling like he was stabbed straight in the heart. Dongnan and Anqi stood there with bewildered faces. He screamed, immediately rushing towards him. Huh? Shaoluan, you dare call me a brat? You want to die? He waved his hand calmly. It looked gentle, but it knocked his hand away. What's wrong with this Shaoluan guy? He could easily slap my hand away. De observed closely. The power gathering in his palm. Strange. The energy overflowing from his hand is more than double compared to when he transforms. Is it because emotional fluctuations increase this flow of energy? Shaoluan's angry shout rang out. A guy who only knows how to make his mother worry and cry, if not a brat, then what is he? De smirked and retorted disdainfully. I can make mom worry? I'm so strong. How could I make mom worry? And you say crying? My mother is the strongest. Until now. She has never shed tears in front of others. What the hell are you saying? He chuckled, his eyes and smile exuding coldness. Is that so? Whether she shed tears or not. Go in and see for yourself, won't it be clear? Hearing that, he immediately rushed to her room. Wait there, I'll deal with you later. Black Egg was confused, little knew. What was with you releasing energy just now? Looking at his hand, Shaoluan replied via voice transmission. When I was small, I had a strange period. My strength was much greater than other kids. But after I discovered the ones raising me were elderly parents, this strange strength naturally disappeared. It only reappeared just now. It chuckled, praising while laughing, little knew. So you were that formidable when you were small? Shaoluan frowned, his eyes showing a hint of annoyance. In the human world, being overly formidable can squeeze people to death. Being a bit silly reduces aggressiveness. Hearing that, Black Egg was confused, head full of question marks. Huh? As soon as he entered, De shouted, Mother. Why are you so flustered? Seeing her lying there peacefully, he frowned. As expected, I was tricked by that brat. She looked at De, eyes full of tender love. Still angry at Mom? He shook his head, no. Twen replied, De, do you remember that day? You were also angry at me and ran out by yourself? I didn't know you were preparing a birthday gift for me. His eyes widened, recalling memories from childhood. Young De angrily ran straight out to search. Mom is a dummy. Couldn't we wait a bit before leaving? I've been secretly preparing this gift for over half a month. Can't just leave it behind. Mother. While he was walking, he heard a shout from behind. Where do you want to take me? We aren't doing anything. The child was scared. Mom. They said, don't be afraid, it's just a routine check. If you cooperate, you can receive 1 camp coin. The subordinate nearby saw his leader dazed. What's wrong? He quickly ran after Da. That little brat looks a bit like Crow Lord's description. I'll go verify. When reaching a fork, he quickly turned in. Da had long sensed someone chasing him. He smirked, want to chase me? Let's see if you have the skill to do so. He hid in a corner, seeing Da had gone quite far, then followed. While rushing forward, a figure flashed past Twen's hair like lightning, piercing through his heart. She maintained her speed rushing forward, turning her head back to check. Seeing him fall to the ground, Twen left immediately. She hurriedly chased after him. Twen shouted. Da, stop messing around. Na has chased us here already. We must leave quickly. He replied. I'm just getting some stuff, very quickly, at my secret base. Hearing this, she paused slightly, suspicious. Secret base? Not noticing behind. Blood from where Twen stabbed was splashing up. In just an instant, a small sprout emerged. Da led her to a gloomy cave. I didn't expect this scene beneath this small cave. Is this the secret base Da spoke of? He nodded. I followed a rabbit and found this place. Watching Da mysteriously go fetch something. Da. What are you hiding here? He didn't hide his sadness, replying. I know we are about to leave here. But I've prepared this gift for a long time. Da's small hand took out from that cloth bag a stone full of holes. Twen's eyes widened, staring at it. The whole cave suddenly glowed, making her marvel. So beautiful. You put luminous stones inside, right? Inside that stone, he had indeed placed luminous stones. Da blushed, shyly turned away and stammered. Originally, I should have shown you in 2 days. Touched, Twen hugged him tight and said. Thank you, Da. I love this gift very much. His eyes suddenly looked at the back of her hair. Mother, on your hair. On the lock of hair earlier, there was still a streak of blood. Twen picked up the lock of hair, her face darkening. We're done for, Da. Our tracks might have been discovered. He was confused. It's just moving blood. Without hesitation, she used her hand to tear it off. I heard. This new demon Na has very powerful tracking arts. Using blood to track our location is also possible. Let's go quickly. Da happily reached out and proposed. Mother, give me the blood-stained hair. This cave is complex. I'm not even sure he can find us through this. Hearing that, she was a bit skeptical but still handed it over. Rapid footsteps rang out in the empty forest. A snap of fingers rang out, and the whole group immediately stopped. Dana looked at the small plant in his hand and said, Here. Vong Hak, sitting on Ndung's back, asked him. Master, where does here refer to? Dana pointed down and replied, below. Underfoot? He immediately understood. Oh, so that's it. Vong Hak jumped down and saw a small hole in the ground. So there's a small cave hidden here. True Tri looked at Dana, asking respectfully, Crow Demon Lord. Do you need my help to punch a big hole? Or directly collapse this place? To let them die inside? He replied calmly, no need. I want them alive. Looking down at that small cave, Dana felt amused. To be able to counterkill the previous term's Crow Demon, it seems she is more suitable for this bone sphere than Achuan. Interesting. Then, a dangerous smile appeared on his face. Let me test you guys. Come on, sister-in-law. Half an hour later, Vong Hak was chasing Da. Brat, I don't have time to play hide and seek with you. He provocatively said. Who is playing with whom isn't certain yet. Da reached out, gathering power. Then fired 2 beams of light towards Vong Hak. However, he dodged it. Hak watched the 2 beams hit the branch behind him. Vong Hak sneered, Pretty green, huh? Brat. But before Da could react, he had jumped behind him. He grabbed it tightly. Skill is a level higher, yeah. The next second, a smile appeared on his face. Is that so? Vong Hak was bewildered. Realizing he had just caught an illusion, Da asked, Are you having fun? Looking at the empty space in front of him, he was angry. Damn it. I was teased. Looking back, Vong Hak suddenly wondered. I wonder if on Master's side. Could it also be a clone? Nok Yuan ran while asking Da. How is the clone situation on your side? He replied, one of them was tricked. The other one is very sharp and didn't follow. But it's okay. Behind us, there are still 2 clones. If he chases, he'll definitely know. She asked worriedly, Da, don't force yourself, okay? Mom isn't weak either. Da smiled and answered, I know you are very formidable, Mom. But my new skill isn't weak either. Suddenly, a sound made Yuan stop. She immediately looked up at Dana with a vigilant gaze. He jumped up, dodging her attack. Yuyin looked up, vigilantly saying, "Stop hiding, come out." Da was startled and bewildered. How is it possible? Did he escape my clone up there and chase us here? Dana landed and began to bow. Sister-in-law. First time meeting. Hello, I am Dana. I was once looked after by Brother Chuan. I am also a crow demon of this world. And the new manager number 16 of the giant world. Yuyin immediately waved her hand to deny. I don't know you. Don't call me sister-in-law. You go out first. Leave this place to mom. He slowly walked over, acting generous. No need to go. No need to go. I came to discuss peace. Yuyin blocked in front of shouting, discuss what peace? Stop deceiving people. He ran up from behind his mother. She turned back urgently. Why haven't you left yet? Go quickly. Hearing that, he immediately turned and ran. Got it. Kept recalling Yuyin's advice. Mom is very strong, never lost. So you must listen to mom. When mom fights, you cannot be there. You cannot become mom's weakness. At that time, he had affirmed firmly, Mom, rest assured. I won't become your weakness. Meanwhile, affirmed in his heart, Mom, I won't become your weakness. Dana still slowly stepped forward. Sister-in-law, listen to me. But she just coldly shouted, cut the nonsense. As soon as she finished the sentence, her hair attacked him. But he dodged it. Yuyin was furious. Let's see where else you can dodge. Her hair attacked him relentlessly. While parrying, Dana exclaimed that her combat power was indeed extraordinary. But it's time to extinguish your arrogance. A few drops of blood flowed from his fingers. Followed by a surprise attack, pushing Yuyin into the wall behind. Sat huddled in a corner, holding his head and trembling. Mom is the strongest. Mom will win. Mom is the strongest, the strongest. Suddenly, the sound of footsteps startled him. Quickly, assumed a defensive stance. Who is it? Yuyin stepped out from behind the cliff face. Covered in injuries, it's Mom. Seeing that it was her, he happily ran out. Mom, you won. Yuyin smiled and patted his head. I won. Then noticed her wounds. And worriedly said, Mom, your leg is injured. She gently comforted her son. I'm fine. He argued back worriedly. What do you mean fine? Yuyin continued to comfort him. I know you love me. But I'm really fine. Looked up at her, tears streaming down. Mom, in the future, I will become strong, very strong, very strong. So in the future, when there's a fight, don't make me leave again, okay? Yuyin bent down and gently wiped his tears. Wait until you grow up and can beat me. Then I won't make you leave anymore, okay? Immediately nodded, okay. Then turned his back. I'll carry you, Mom. Yuyin laughed. Silly child. You are still so small, how can you carry me? He stubbornly insisted, my strength is huge. She smiled and said, okay. Wait until you grow up and I'm old. Then you can carry me to travel. Go here and there to eat. How about that? Face lit up, okay. Sounds very fun. It's a promise then. The two held hands and walked, chatting happily. Mom, where do you want to go play the most? What do you want to eat the most right now? I'll make a plan. Silly child, there's still a long time before you grow up. We can think and plan slowly. I want to know now, tell me. Okay. My little treasure. Yuyin lay on the bed, looking at and speaking seriously. I know that for us to make it to this point, it really hasn't been easy. I also know you really hate crow demons. And you can never accept that your dad was a crow demon. He helplessly interrupted her. Mom, if you want to talk about that person, then stop. Seeing about to leave, Yuyin hurriedly said, if your dad hadn't brought the bone sphere to me when I was dying, neither I nor you in my womb would have survived. I never told you. Because you were small then, and I feared you would ask too many questions and get implicated. Spun around, his voice questioning. What do you mean afraid of being implicated? Haven't we already been implicated long ago? Otherwise, we wouldn't have been hunted for over 10 years. At this moment, she took out a small box-shaped object and revealed, they always hunt us. On the surface, it is to retrieve the bone sphere on my back. Actually, it is because of this. Asked bewilderedly, what does this contain? Yuyin explained. You know relics are formed on the egg surface. By relying on egg matter to evolve. Seeming to guess, wanted to ask but stopped. Could it be? She immediately replied, correct. Inside contains the candy, the rare active state of the central region, of the life ovum. Reaching out to take that object, he asked, active state? Yuyin gently entrusted him, You are now stronger than me. Your dad's belonging is now for you to protect. Only items from the central region can oppose him. With a serious voice, Yuan continued. The path to becoming strong, perhaps for us, is not the only way for you to escape fate. Hearing this, De was slightly stunned. Yuan sighed and slowly explained. I also tried handing this thing over. To exchange for a peaceful life for you, without implication. But the reality is that the covert infighting among crow demons has long pushed us onto the blade's edge. Looking at De, Yuan's eyes became steely. We have no choice. Only to keep fighting, and then become strong, even stronger. De looked at the object in his hand and gripped it tight. Then he put it in the pouch at his waist and walked out. He spoke to Xiao Luan and Dong Nan. It's getting late. Let's move out to find the Ying flower. De's eyes became sharp and cold, his tone confident. After that, we'll smash this giant world to pieces. Xiao Luan looked at him and smiled. This guy has finally recovered his spirit. In the next hour, they went to 3 places to look for the Ying flower of the poison tree, but couldn't find a trace of it. Xiao Luan examined the giant egg and whispered, De. The smell of this egg condensed bomb is so strong. Do you guys really not smell it? If giants follow the scent here, we'll be in trouble. De replied, it's fine. I can't smell it. Can those guys smell it? When we returned, preparing to go to the 4th location, we discovered a giant rock, moving strangely. De reached his hand inside and pulled out a blue branch. Xiao Luan looked at this branch in bewilderment. Which part is the flower? De also looked at it in surprise. No, it hasn't grown yet. Damn it. If even the pistil hasn't grown, the Ying flower needs at least another half year. He immediately worried. Half a year? Then we can only wait and nurture it first. He frowned. Half a year is too long. Mom's legs have been corroded very seriously. Can't wait anymore. Suddenly, that rock shook. Before they could react, something rushed up from under the rock, attacking De. He quickly jumped up, dodging the hand that suddenly shot up. De retreated, recognizing a familiar figure. Vong Hak was sitting on Fan La's hand. He looked at them, his tone sarcastic. Not bad, not bad. Fan La, you chose a flowerless poison tree as bait. Indeed suitable. He humbly replied, my lord is still the impressive one. Being able to distinguish the smell of egg condensed bomb, and then through the strong scent to judge where they wanted to go. Only then could we set the bait beforehand. Vong Hak replied. It also requires them to have enough persistence, failing to find the flower several times without getting discouraged. De looked at them angrily. Setting a trap for us? Better to say you are seeking your own death. Vong Hak laughed scornfully. Brat, haven't seen you for years, still so arrogant. He suddenly remembered and recognized him. You are that idiot. At that moment, Fan La heard this and got angry. You worm. How dare you be so rude to the crow demon lord? De looked at Vong Hak and mocked. What? This idiot became a crow demon. Can just anyone become a crow demon? No wonder crow demons are all so terrible. Just like your master. In the end, didn't he also die at my mother's hands? Vong Hak calmly replied. Unfortunately, my master's life is tough. With me, the mobile blood bank, here, how could he die so easily? You guys are indeed impressive. Thanks to your mother, we were demoted, becoming trash in the mouths of crow demons. But then, killing intent radiated from Vong Hak. Now we return to sharpen our blades on you first. De vigilantly requested Fong Xiao Luan. You take the poison tree. I will cover. You guys. Then you and Dong Nan leave here first. He frowned. De. Don't make me do things that sound so uncomfortable. He ignored Xiao Luan's protest, shoving that branch into Xiao Luan's hand. Stop talking nonsense, take it. Dong Nan also looked at him and advised. This guy's stubbornness has a limit. De turned to him. Mother and I are just like that. Survivors do not hold back the strong. Dong Nan was immediately stunned. I hold back? Vong Hak laughed slyly. Don't dawdle anymore. Wanting to let 2 variant eggs leave here is not that easy. Get past us first. Suddenly, giant figures surrounded them. That's right. On my master's side. I think he is probably arriving at your mother's place now. When that time comes, it will certainly be a tearful reunion. He was startled, looking up with obvious worry. You, what did you say? Vong Hak calmly said, Brat, you know what? Master has been looking forward to meeting your long-lost mother again. De quickly denied, bullshit. It's not that easy for him to find my mother. Humph, don't tell me the blood tracking ability. However, he said, blood tracking is secondary. The important thing is the great lord accompanying my master. His ability is not something ordinary people like us can imagine. A speculation arose in Xiao Luan's heart. Is the great lord he mentioned the him Aunt Twen spoke of? He immediately told De, we're done for, De. We must go back quickly. This time, we will cover you. Although he didn't want to. He could only follow, damn it. Fine. Quickly, the three of them found a way to leave. Meanwhile, De signaled Xiao Luan and Dong Nan. They understood his meaning, exchanging silent glances. With a determined look, De rushed up, attracting the attention of Fan La and Vong Hak. Two blue lights appeared on Dong Nan's hands. Then he attacked Fan La's vision. Below, after handing that branch to Black Egg, Xiao Luan advanced to the guy's leg and hugged it tight. Then he channeled electricity into it, causing Fan La to kneel down. He roared angrily, "Damn worm. Where is the Lord?" One guy intended to attack him. Xiao Luan immediately used his skill to control him. Then ordered, "Go attack the other giants for me." That guy left. He turned to ask Black Egg. "Black Egg, if I adjust the control time to 5 minutes, how many guys can you control?" It hurriedly replied, "Because your childhood strength has returned. I can control 3 guys." Running to another spot, Xiao Luan asked, "Come to think of it, now that we've controlled the poison tree, why can't we make it bloom immediately?" Black Egg replied, "Blooming is not within the scope of my current ability. Can't do it." Suddenly, 3 other guys rushed in intending to attack him. 3 of them rushed forward simultaneously, intending to crush Xiao Luan and Black Egg. De looked back worriedly, "Fong Xiao Luan." Vong Hak rushed over, preparing to attack him. "Brat, you noticed, right? He is our true target." De dodged but still wondered. Preparing for the next attack, he explained, "When we were tracking your movements, I accidentally discovered the drawing on the ground. On that drawing, it marked the central region of the life ovum." He clenched his hand, realizing, so it was because of this. Looking at his clones, he exclaimed, "Even the Great Lord doesn't know the location of this region. I didn't expect to discover this top-secret intelligence. So, brat, don't block my way." Leaving a clone to hold back Vong Hak, he ran to help Xiao Luan. "Sorry, I like blocking your way." He didn't rush to stop him but asked calmly, "Oh? The 5th clone. So what is your limit, idiot?" Suddenly De froze. A pale blue net prevented De from moving further. "What is this?" This net enveloped both Vong Hak and his clones. He said smugly, "This is the new ability the bone sphere bestowed upon me, spatial barrier. To break it, only energy corresponding to the bone sphere can do it." Turning back, he mocked, "You underestimate me too much. Idiot." Vong Hak spread his arms arrogantly. "Right, you're still hoping for the 2 clones outside the barrier, aren't you? Look clearly at their condition before being arrogant, brat. My sword can also follow my consciousness to seal space." Seeing his 2 other clones also imprisoned, he was astounded. "Sword blade? Vong Hak's sword is over there." De couldn't help but wonder, when did this sword leave his side? Vong Hak calmly explained, "The first time you used clones. Although your ability is annoying, once your ability is known, there are countermeasures. Captured you." At this moment, De couldn't help but feel a bit panicked. On the side of the 3 people, after a moment of silence, they exchanged words. "No more movement. Probably crushed to death, right? Slowly let go and check." Dong Nan shouted, rushing over, "You guys, get off Fong Xiao Luan." Between those 3 guys, a small spark of electricity flashed. Then a burst of lightning was released, pushing them back. He knelt on the ground, protecting Black Egg and the poison branch underneath. Seeing him sit up, it hurriedly asked, "Little new. Are you okay?" Xiao Luan replied, "I'm fine. I'm fine." While no one was paying attention, a drop of Xiao Luan's blood dripped down, falling onto the poison branch. The branch immediately trembled, startling Black Egg. "What's wrong with it?" Quickly, a small flower branch grew from the tree stem. Seeing it, he cheered happily, "Duh. The poison tree bloomed." This made both De and Vong Hak look over. How is that possible?" Without hesitating, he hurriedly requested, "Fong Xiao Luan, great. Please take the Ying flower to my mother." Gripping the poison branch, Xiao Luan affirmed, "Don't worry. I will definitely deliver the Ying flower to Aunt Twen." Dana, sitting on the hand, turned to ask him, "My lord, it seems starting from here, it's no longer suitable for giants to walk. Besides, my blood tracking can only track up to here." Hearing this, Ron was a bit interested and turned to call Dana. "The ability of your bone sphere has not been exploited to the extreme yet? Never mind, hand it over." Seeing that, he immediately said, "I'm very sorry, my lord. I have to trouble you to read the memories." Then he called someone to bring it immediately. "Minion, bring it here." "Yes, Crow Demon Lord." The minion obeyed the order and brought the precious item to Ront. He sat on the hand, using a spoon to enjoy this delicacy. The dish arrived, Ront immediately scooped a piece to taste. As soon as he ate a piece, he had to exclaim, the taste of beast synthesis is truly terrible, Dana. Hearing this, he apologized remorsefully, I apologize, my lord. Making you suffer. After knowing this, Ront also understood. I see. The memories before this fishman was synthesized. This woman named Twen is a beauty. In the eyes of humans. Saying that, he smiled unconsciously, making him confused. Then Ront stood up and shouted, wings. A pair of wings appeared right behind his back. Having these wings, Ront turned to show off. I should also mobilize my body. Come here, Dana. He was taken along and politely thanked back. Troubling you, my lord. The two supported each other to go somewhere. Over here. Shaoluan held the egg he kept on him and pulled it out. Holding it, he thought a bit, black egg. Now we control the butterfly wings. It is indeed much faster. But can we go even faster? The black egg then reported that. I have already added your own strength. This is the fastest. Hearing this announcement, Shaoluan had to move even faster, thinking, damn it. It seems arriving faster than him is impossible. We must think of a way to deal with this guy. Seeing this, the egg turned to report back, little new. Actually, when we were at the ruins, I unconsciously explored that place. I discovered inside the ruins, there are still many underground passages. I will resonate them into your head. Let's consult them together. Following the instructions, he suddenly saw and was a bit surprised. I see it. Indeed, there are many secret passages. Seeing him in such a hurry, the egg clung on and asked, what's wrong? Shaoluan discovered something strange and walked fast, saying, in Aunt Twen's room, there are 2 secret passages. Gwynnie? Gwynnie sighed. When Twen woke up, there was no one there, so she asked in confusion, Gwynnie? Strange. It's this late. Why hasn't Gwynnie returned yet? Manito rushed in and called her. Twen. Bad news. Seeing her in such a rush, she asked in confusion. What's wrong? Did something happen to De and the others? I didn't follow them to look after you, you told me to stay. Listen to me. The information vine I left outside the ruins for a month simultaneously lost its signal. I can confirm that someone has intruded. Learning of this, Twen froze for a moment. Manito fearfully reported this dangerous matter. To be able to destroy my information vine in an instant. This intruder is definitely not simple. She could no longer sit still, so she stood up and asked, what is it? She recounted the dangerous situation. The fireflies constructing information with me were all destroyed just now. The intruder has reached the entrance. Hearing this, she understood a bit and fell into thought. It seems the person who really wants my life has arrived. After thinking carefully, Twen made a decision. Manito, go quickly and notify everyone to leave the ruins via the North Mountain. Manito obeyed immediately, agreeing, I'll go and come back. She obeyed the order, and immediately ran out to carry out the mission. But when Manito just got out, a loud noise whooshed past her, making Manito worried. She turned back to look at that room. She hurriedly ran back to find Twen. Why did you block the door from the inside? She was on guard and replied. Manito, they came targeting me. You lead everyone away from here. Quickly. Manito didn't listen and stubbornly said, no. Twen, let's go together. The entrance is still some distance away. She didn't allow it and shouted to chase her away. Over 10 lives will die here. With no other choice, she had to obey. I know. After I arrange the others, I will come back. Don't force yourself too much. Saying that, she ran off to inform everyone there. Twen remained behind, very calm, closing her eyes waiting for them to arrive. A while later, there were footsteps of someone approaching this place. It turned out to be Dana and Ront who had found this place. Hearing these footsteps, she snapped awake. She used her hair to smash the wall fragments. There. Just as she smashed them, the 2 men walked in. But they didn't see anyone. Looking inside, there were only strands of woven hair. Dana turned to ask the Lord. It seems she has fled. But Ront realized something and laughed. Is that so? Just as they realized it, Twen used her hair to attack that spot. Twen, hiding behind the bed, saw who it was. It was him. But he showed no fear and laughed. Exploding with power, he slowly advanced. Using his wings, he slowly approached, finding the place where she was hiding. Moreover, Ront used his 3 eyes to approach and said, found you. Twen didn't know what to do at this moment, other than sitting in anxiety. He used the eyes on his wings to look at her and praised. Indeed a beauty among humans. Fighting him, I have absolutely no chance of winning. It seems today is my great limit. Duh, you must live well. Unexpectedly, Xiao Luan called Twen, Auntie? Aunt Twen, can you hear me speaking? Aunt Twen heard this familiar voice. She immediately asked back, Xiao Luan? He also confirmed with Twen, it's Xiao Luan. Through Black Egg. I established a connection with your bone sphere. Don't be afraid, Black Egg is right underneath you. Hearing Xiao Luan, she worriedly asked, why did you guys come back? Is Da there too? He recounted the situation. And also told her briefly. Da is temporarily facing a small problem. But it's fine. He will arrive very soon. He asked us to bring the Ying flower to you. Aunt Twen stopped Xiao Luan. Don't come to this dangerous place. No, you can't come. Xiao Luan, you guys leave quickly too. Trust me, I can handle it. Xiao Luan didn't care and promised Aunt Twen. What I promised I will definitely fulfill. So you don't need to worry. Through that, he also gave Twen some instructions. You just need to follow my words. Move 2 meters behind you to regroup with Black Egg. Hearing the reminder, she turned back to look 2 meters behind. As they were about to attack Twen again. Suddenly there was a noise above. There were continuous loud noises on the ceiling, running back and forth. Ront looked up and asked in confusion, is there a little mouse inside? Just as he went to check the situation, an attack came down from above towards him. Ront looked up, realizing something and sensing something. Playing tricks? So you were overhead. Wait, this aura. Enchantment transformation? Xiao Luan was up there looking down, thinking. Aunt Twen, take this chance to move 2 meters back. Twen looked up, saw him, and was startled. Xiao Luan? Why did you make yourself the bait? Seeing her fear, Xiao Luan confidently said. Don't worry about me. After you drink the Ying flower antidote, follow Black Egg. To leave here via the underground path. You know I have the ability to control others. After controlling him, I will quickly regroup with you. She looked up, wanting to hold him back but couldn't, only able to encourage. I know no matter how I advise you. You will still do it. Fine. After detoxifying. We will fight side by side. Okay? He was happy to be supported and agreed. Okay, we will fight side by side. Dana saw this. Stepped forward volunteering, my lord. Leave the one above to me. But he stopped him, no, Dana. Don't you sense it? That is the special aura of the progenitor type candy. Hearing this, he was a bit confused and asked, progenitor type? Ront explained about it. The intelligence about the rare active state candy you told me. Refers to that brat up there. Right? But he still wanted to try a bit. Apologies, my lord. I'm not too sure either. Hearing this, he seemed surprised. But Ront didn't care and spread his wings. Then took off and rushed forward. It doesn't matter. Catch him and taste him, won't we know immediately? Xiao Luan saw this and sensed it a bit. Also ready to run forward, thinking. He really chased me here. Seeing him constantly tailing like that. Xiao Luan also found it hard to understand. Such a narrow space, and he squeezes directly in. While running, he looked for a way to fight. My combat state can be maintained for half an hour. I must quickly hold him back. Then use the corrosive energy to escape. But I don't know how long I can control him. Hope it's not just a few seconds like Black Egg worried. Thinking this, Xiao Luan accelerated with full force. Channeling it into his legs to run. This acceleration of his helped him quickly weave through very smoothly. Seeing this speed, Ront felt even more interested. The pleasure of hunting live prey, I haven't experienced it for a long time. I must control my strength well to avoid him dying too soon. On this side, Twen was injured, but still tried to drag herself elsewhere. Dana returned to the room looking for her sister-in-law? Why hide in a corner without making a sound? Do you still recognize me? But he froze. When seeing the scene in this room, searching every corner and finding nothing, he wondered. Where is she? Or is there a secret passage? Dana stubbornly searched every corner of this room. On the other side, she had successfully escaped and was being guided by Black Egg. Aunt Twen. How do you feel after drinking the Ying flower? Twen felt her leg and replied. My leg feels a bit numb. Hearing this, Black Egg was a bit hesitant. Is the dosage insufficient? Here is another flower. But she refused this. 1 flower is enough dosage. Leave this one for Da. Unexpectedly, Black Egg sprinkled the flower on her injured leg. Wait a bit more. Immediately after, her leg had its bandages removed in a magical way. Look, it's working. On the other side, Ront continued to tail relentlessly. He attacked towards Xiao Luan, but then he could perfectly weave and dodge successfully. Immediately after, Xiao Luan ran to another place. Seeing his method, Ront also felt interested. So that's it. Blood full of black candy, the smell of cafuno. Hearing something strange like that, Shaoluan turned back and asked, black candy cafuno? He also explained about it. This is the fruit produced by the most ancient tree of life. Thus, it seems you are a descendant of the divine soldiers clan, who lived in the life ovum earliest. He was confused and asked Ront back. The clan living in the egg world earliest? Isn't this egg world built by you guys? And manipulated? But he denied it and said again, no, no, no. The life ovum is just a body that generates life, that we accidentally snatched back. Many places here. We still have to explore through you guys. Shaoluan went on to ask about another thing. Body generating life? But unexpectedly, Ront smiled and changed his attitude. The body generating life, the thing that makes it most valuable, is letting us discover that fragrant and delicious existence. Shaoluan spoke in disgust. What delicious existence? You only do disgusting things. Ront smiled, you humans. Aren't you just like us, raising livestock to eat? In essence, there is no difference from us. Shaoluan was stunned, thinking to himself, damn it. I actually have no energy to refute him. A call rang out in his mind, Little New. Little New? He replied to Black Egg, what is it? It informed him of the situation. Aunt Twen has successfully detoxified. Her leg has recovered to its original form. He urged, that's great. Follow the previous plan. Immediately lead her away. Black Egg replied. She refuses to go. She wants to come up and fight with you. Little New, how is it on your side? Shaoluan lied to Black Egg. Tell Aunt Twen I have escaped. It immediately exposed him. But Little New, we can still talk. You must still be within 300 meters. Can't lie. He confessed, Black Egg. Actually, Aunt Twen and I have long rekindled the hope in my heart, hope that my real mother is still alive. So I hope Aunt Twen lives well. It replied, I know. I will make her believe you have gone far away. Be careful yourself. He softly agreed with it. Over here, it and Aunt Twen moved hurriedly. She asked Black Egg. Black Egg, the passage. Now we are going in the opposite direction from Shaoluan. Where is our meeting point? Black Egg led the way while answering. The underground secret passages in this ruin are not what I can imagine. 500 meters left to the meeting point. She immediately realized something unusual. Black Egg, you really don't know how to lie. Although it's a secret passage you don't know. But after all, I've been here for years. Then she demanded to stop. It sweated bullets, lamenting silently, messed up. She questioned, tell me. Has Shaoluan not successfully escaped yet? It tried to cover up this. I'm not sure right now. We are not within 300 meters. She said worriedly. Black Egg, I know you guys are doing this for my own good. But I can't let Shaoluan fall into danger because of me. A scream rang out, help. Help. Twen flashed like lightning towards the direction, emitting that voice. Black Egg and Twen crawled through an underground pipe and saw a group of people fleeing. A girl in the group had her hand tightly wrapped by a strange long thin purple object. Black Egg exclaimed, what is that? She observed the situation and said, I once heard my husband say, he came from within. The large wings separate organs. Seem to be called embedded eye orbs. It repeated in surprise, embedded eye orbs? Twen attacked those eye orbs with her hair, while cursing, damn it. They nimbly escaped her attack. Black Egg saw this and exclaimed, those eye orbs. Completely dodged the attack. She jumped down and stood in front of the group. They were surprised by her appearance. Calling out loudly, Twen. She wondered, what's happening? Didn't you guys follow me dash Nito through the North Mountain Passage to leave? Two girls in that group immediately recounted the situation. The exit of the North Mountain Road was blocked by these monsters. And there are too many of these monsters. Manito couldn't handle them at all. Twen was extremely surprised. Only a few people within our inner circle know the North Mountain entrance. How did he know and even arrange it beforehand? A voice rang out from behind them. That is because the Lord ate the brain of a teammate. Important to you guys. The person who just appeared was Dana. He continued, then I gave him the idea to arrange beforehand. Twen was angry, it's you. You want to wash away the previous humiliation? He retorted. No, no, no. I came to make a deal. She repeated in surprise, deal? He went straight to the point, rare active state candy. I don't believe you used it on a human. It is that pitch black guy. Whose body is full of energy. She thought to herself. Does he think the energy on Shaoluan comes from the active state candy? No wonder he chases to kill. Dana spoke up, where is the Lord? He is full of interest in that brat. But I know that's not it, right? Twen shouted, what exactly do you want? He proposed, resonate the rare active state candy. Find the location of the central region, and deal with him together. Twen was suspicious. Deal with him? Did I hear wrong? Dana lowered his voice. We are no different from livestock managed by them. Twen didn't believe. I won't be fooled. You are all the same gang. Dana held his head, angrily recounting, the first time chasing you. I really sold my life for him. But do you know? After the failed pursuit, half of my brain was eaten by him. What? He continued. At that time, my thinking underwent a huge change. Twen was skeptical. Confirm if what you say is true. Wait, you speak in front of the embedded eye orbs, aren't you afraid he'll know? He calmly explained. Embedded eye orbs are his direct organs. Embedded eye orbs have no auditory function. He cannot hear our conversation. Ront laughed loudly, appearing behind him. True, my eye orbs have this weakness. Twen saw him appear and shouted, Xiao Luan. Because she saw him choking an unconscious Xiao Luan in his hand. He mocked. But Dana. You don't know this brat and I have played enough already? Dana immediately lost his spirit, stammering, my lord. He snapped his fingers. In just a few seconds, Ront cleanly destroyed Dana. He spoke up, humans. Don't you have a phrase called, ungrateful? Truly suitable for this guy. Twen shouted, you. Release Tu Luan first, if you want the bone marrow, target me. He laughed. Did I waste so much effort just for a piece of bone marrow? She stated her conditions. As expected, it is still because of the rare active Thai candy. You release Tu Luan first. Then whatever you want to ask or anything else is up to you. Long Ai cruelly replied to her, but I'm bored of playing. Interrogating is too troublesome. Isn't reading it directly much faster and cleaner? Twen didn't quite understand. Read what directly? He pointed to his head and voiced his explanation. Extremely cruel. It means prying your brain open. And deliciously eating the brain marrow inside. Both Twen and Black Egg were utterly horrified by that method. He stuck out his tongue while evaluating the brain marrow. Utilizing the bone marrow to the extreme. Tasting it must be number one. Black Egg panicked and called out, what do we do, Tuno? Wake up quickly. Tuno, it kept screaming. Tuno, can you hear me speaking? Tuno. Long Ai swung his arm and threw Tu Luan. He fell to the ground, unconscious. Twen immediately used brainwaves to exchange with Black Egg. Is Tu Luan okay? It secretly checked and replied to her. Tuno is still in a combat state. He likely just fainted, his life is not in danger. She came up with a countermeasure. Then I am relieved. You find an opportunity to take him away. Twen's strands of hair attacked him relentlessly. But they couldn't hurt him in the slightest. Tickling me? How boring. I told you I'm bored of playing. Quick as lightning, he strangled Twen by the neck. Her hair struggled, attacking him ceaselessly. Black Egg screamed in fear, release her immediately. He spoke calmly. Reaction. The stress reaction of the bone marrow will turn the brain marrow sour. Fine, let's extract the bone marrow first. He looked at Twen's attitude and continued. Don't panic. The moment the bone marrow is extracted, I will simultaneously pry open your cerebral cortex. Long Ai smiled. The sensation will only last about 10 seconds. She gradually fell into a state of suffocation. She thought to herself, Mom has to go now. You must live well. Tu Luan has returned. He jumped up, pulling at Long Ai's hand that was strangling Twen. He was slightly surprised, but immediately regained his composure and smiled. You're being a nuisance. He flung his hand down hard. The disparity in power, as well as height between the two was clearly demonstrated. But he still tried to grip his hand tightly. The wings behind his back grabbed him and smashed him into the ground, so hard that cracks appeared in the ground. Black Egg worriedly called out, Tuno. Twen screamed anxiously, ignore me. You guys run, quickly. He retracted his wings, feigning concern, I struck a bit too hard. Then he turned to look at her and said, never mind, let's continue. Tu Luan pushed against the ground, trying to sit up, and used all his strength to rush towards Long Ai, grabbing his wrist like before. Long Ai was furious. You brat. Twen hurriedly spoke to stop Tu Luan. Enough, Tu Luan. He shouted, no. I can't let anything happen to you. Inside, he was anxiously begging. Corrosive energy, please work quickly. I beg you. He ran out of patience and spoke. Annoying pest. I intended to spare you. But now it's no longer necessary. Saying that, he used his wing to impale Tu Luan. Twen and Black Egg panicked and called out, Tu no. Tu Luan, he returned to the main issue, all right. No more nuisances. He grabbed Twen's neck and began extracting her bone marrow. A scream of agony escaped Twen's lips. Whoosh, after the bone marrow was extracted, it immediately rolled into a ball. He lifted Twen up with one hand. Now for the skull. Long Ai saw the wound on her back. What is this? Even he was confused. Why won't my fingers obey my control? Long Ai turned his head back. That brat. He wanted to grab his own wrist to stop the trembling. Long Ai, are you confident in your strength? Relying on this little ability. You want to control my body? Vong Goa took the opportunity to mock Long Ai. Unexpectedly. You were played by a petty person. Spun around like a fiddle. Truly ironic. He immediately recognized the voice, Vong Goa. He still held a grudge. How long has it been since we met? Starting from when you stole the credit in front of the king and framed me. Over a year, right? Long Ai was furious but couldn't do anything. Vong Goa, you really are petty. Now you want to commit insubordination? How dare you prank me? Vong Goa was proud of himself. Long Ai, I am helping you. My new ability is called Point Form. Setting up the torture device. To eavesdrop on potential criminals. Whatever he hears or sees, it's as if I am there. He didn't put Vong Goa in his eyes. What, point form? Just useless abilities. Vong Goa, accept your punishment from me. Vong Goa wasn't a pushover. The one who should be punished is you, isn't it? Long Ai, pretending not to know? He pointed out Long Ai's mistake. Acting innocent. The king once ordered. Any intelligence regarding rare candy must be reported immediately. Cannot investigate or arrest people on one's own accord. Long Ai actually committed the crime of unauthorized investigation. He brushed it off. Vong Goa's point. What unauthorized investigation? Don't you see? I am just retrieving the bone marrow. He recounted Long Ai's intention. Just now. Didn't you want to pry open this woman's skull? To get the candy intelligence? Tu Luan jumped high up. He snatched Twen from Long Ai's hands. Vong Goa was curious seeing him watch them escape helplessly. Why not chase them? Didn't you want to read it? Or do you want me to get the evidence and personally hand it to the king? Long Ai was provoked to madness. What exactly do you want? He was indeed greedy. I want you to hand over the management rights of the world of giants to me. Long Ai was thunderstruck. Tu Luan ran like the wind, leaving drops of blood on the ground. He was extremely worried. Aunt Twen, how are you? Aunt Twen. Twen resigned her health to fate. Tu Luan, you dummy, don't cry. My fate was sealed long ago, it cannot be changed. He absolutely disagreed. No. You won't die. She gently comforted Tu Luan, everyone dies eventually. It's just a matter of sooner or later. Tu Luan's tears fell profusely. There must be a way. There is definitely a way. Don't give up. What Twen was concerned about was simple. Right now, the one I'm most worried about is Da. I worry he will seek revenge because of me. He tried to run faster. Aunt Twen, don't talk anymore. Rest first. But Twen just warned Tu Luan. I beg you, promise me. Stop Da. If he recklessly seeks revenge now, he'll only throw his life away. Tu Luan pretended not to hear. I won't promise. You tell him yourself. She knew she didn't have much time left. I don't know if I can hold on to Da. He boldly affirmed, you can. Definitely. Da was in a confused state. What the hell is this? Even the secret entrance at North Mountain has one. Dong Nam felt the situation was unstable. Too weird. Hitting them doesn't kill them. He was astonished to see them fly away. Dong Nam questioned life, why did they all run away? Da hurriedly chased after them. Not good. There's not a single soul. Mom, were they trapped inside? He kept muttering. Mom, don't let anything happen to you, Mom. Although Dong Nam wanted to stop him, wait. Don't be reckless. But Da felt uneasy in his heart. Mom. Tu Luan didn't stop to rest for a single minute. He had hope of saving Aunt Twen. Hold on a bit, we're almost at the entrance. Hold on. Then Tu Luan tried to help her maintain her breath. Very soon you'll be able to meet Da. Black Egg also panicked along. Tu no, don't speed up. Stop. Stop. Did you sense it just now? Luan listened to it and stopped. I sensed it. He immediately understood the situation. Like when we found Hoadone. The thing inside his bag is generating resonance with us. Luan shouted, "De is up there. Deep below the labyrinth." Vong Goa directly stated his condition. Long AI, as long as you hand over the management rights of the world of giants to me, I can pretend I never saw anything. Long AI guessed his intention. You want me to recommend you to the king to take over this place? Vong Goa understood the reality. Among the 3 worlds you manage, the world of giants is the one you value least. Isn't that right? Not only can it not provide food for the king, but they also harbor a fatal secret. He couldn't understand at all. So what do you want this desolate place for? Vong Goa didn't want to waste more time. Don't ask questions like a child. You just need to make a decision. Either recommend me to take over this place, or plead guilty and accept punishment. Long Ai's anger could explode at any moment. Good for you, Vong Goa. He gave Long Ai a choice. Listen to me. At least you can keep the management rights of the other 2 worlds, you know. If you accept punishment, all 3 will be gone. Weigh it yourself. He was so angry he gritted his teeth. Vong Goa had long planned revenge on Long Ai. Originally, I should have made sure you could never recover. But you're remaining good subordinate. Let me discover this shocking intelligence. Long Ai's subordinate proudly boasted, "Kid, when I tracked your movements, I accidentally discovered the drawing on the ground. On that drawing, it marked the central region of the life ovum." He thought to himself, why does the king value the central region so much? Although not stated clearly. But I know. In this central region exists a treasure. Enough to shake the entire Vong clan. Vong Goa was much more confident. Now, the entrance is hidden in some corner of the world of giants. You say I still care about such a small revenge? Long Ai? Look closely. Who is the ultimate winner? On his waist hung a small bag. Inside was a sensor box. He frantically rushed forward. The sound attracted his attention. It's coming from under the floor. The floor was suddenly pierced. Luan's leg appeared at the hole's opening, startling De and Dong Nam. He breathed a sigh of relief. "Duh. Finally found you." He held the person right there. Tuan lay motionless in Luan's arms. De hurriedly ran over to check the situation. "Mom?" He flusteredly asked, "How is my mom?" Luan struggled to speak. "Auntie had her bone marrow extracted." She suddenly woke up. "Duh, that's good. Before mom leaves, I could see you one more time." De was scared by his mom. "What, leaving? Don't talk nonsense. Mom will live to be 100. But Tuan brought up the past. "Duh. Do you remember when you were small? You secretly prepared a birthday gift for mom?" Tears rolled down his cheeks. "I remember, of course I remember." She was truly very happy. At that time, mom felt like the happiest person in this world. De looked at Tuan suffering pain. "Mom?" Suddenly she asked, "Duh, can you carry mom on your back?" Tuan once promised him, "Okay, wait until you grow up and mom gets old. Then you will carry mom to travel. Mom will go here and there, eat this and that. How about it?" De agreed without hesitation. "Okay. Sounds very fun. Let's decide on that. Mom, where do you want to go most? What do you want to eat most now? Let me plan it." She wasn't in a hurry at all. "Silly child, waiting for you to grow up will take some time. We'll think about it slowly. Plan slowly." But he still whined. "I want to know now. Tell me." De hugged her tightly, sobbing. "Mom." Tuan was on her son's back. He carried his mom away amidst the pity of his friends. De was extremely regretful. "Mom, I'm sorry. I never fulfilled our promise." Tuan blamed herself. "Silly child. Didn't we say wait until mom is old to carry mom to travel? Why? Mom isn't old yet." But mom is being spoiled, wanting her little treasure to carry her? He clearly remembered Tuan's preferences. "Mom, later let's go eat jelly. Stewed chicken with bamboo shoots that you like best. The flower garden of Lin's son. That place has the snow velvet flowers you like best. We'll go there too." She couldn't bear to leave. "Then what?" De lowered his voice and replied. "It's the Nam Huyen hot spring." "Mom." Tuan's hands dropped down. "Mom, don't leave me behind." De promised before Tuan's grave. "Mom, this vengeance I will definitely take. I will mince that guy into pieces. You once told me, the only thing that can deal with him is the item in the central region. I will definitely find the central region. then become strong to avenge Mom. Before that, he also thought more maturely. Huang Tiuluan risked death to lead Mom out. So I could see Mom one last time. I must repay this kindness first. Safely take them to Kala City. Then I will start on the revenge. Mom, rest in peace. De regained his spirit. Let's go. I'll lead you guys to Kala City. 2 hours later, someone stepped on Twen's grave. A stranger suddenly appeared. Its form changed. It turned out this person was Non-K. It approached the grave marker. Offended you. Dirt was thrown up. Non-K used power to take Twen's memories. Its brain announced, copying generated. Non-K took the brain and installed it into its own head. The transformation happened in a split second. Non-K successfully transformed into Twen. In front of it was a superior. Dana was very impatient. Why did it take you so long to arrive? I did as you said. When can I meet Demon Crow number 0? It seemed Non-K was stalling for time. What's the rush? Is the master someone you can meet just because you want to? He couldn't help but be worried. Aren't you in a hurry at all? The reset of the life. Ovum has already started the countdown. By then, all living creatures inside will die. Both of us will die. We must quickly find the exit. It specifically reiterated the assigned mission. You must be clear. The things that we are doing now are all preparation for finding the exit. And the master's test for Huang Tiuluan is related to whether we can survive leaving the life, Ovum or not. Dana still felt confused. The test for that brat. Is it really effective? It knew clearly which factors were important. Isn't this test better than predicted? Why is the central region still yielding no information for them to find? New clue. Do you know? The central region corresponds to the main control room of the life. Ovum? That place can directly turn off its reset model. He proposed the idea of directly turning it off. Kalea City. A man fled in panic. Damn it. He thought to himself. Why am I being targeted by the Demon Ward people? No way. This egg brain cannot fall into their hands. The one chasing was Cot Company. The weapon in her hand was exquisitely designed. Cot Co decided to injure the man from behind. He couldn't help but be astonished. The man felt his body gradually changing. He screamed miserably. Cot Co just stood watching the man stop moving. Demon Ward assassin, Cot Company. She felt it wasn't a waste of effort. This temporary mission. Don't put it in my regular category. This is overtime. Do immediately politely declined. I don't have the authority. You tell the higher-ups yourself. He spoke up to lecture her. Besides, I instructed you to handle it carefully. If the item is broken, you get nothing. But Cot Co didn't care. TSK, a vile guy. Both powerless and annoying. Every day just following me in and out. This lady is not a murder weapon you lock in a cage. Do cherish the liquid inside the egg. Luckily it wasn't damaged. She wondered a bit, what is it? He calmly explained. A new egg brain cultivated by the Blackwell people. Heard it's a weapon they just researched. Cot Co didn't trust the Blackwell people much. The most primitive tribe of the life ovum. This guy is so weak. Definitely not a Blackwell person. Do was strangely calm. The person asking for help probably ran away, right? The Blackwell people never reveal themselves. Cot Co wanted to know the reason. So, with this group of egg brains, what does the Ghost Ward want to do? He confirmed the cause. The Ghost Ward has finished negotiating cooperation with the red-skinned mystic. The next focus is probably dealing with the Blackwell people. Then she firmly stated, I'll say the ugly words first. I will not work for the red-skinned mystic. Do turn to leave, do you have a choice? Let's go. Someone will come to collect this egg brain later. We have to go back to the hotel. Cot Co did not accept the fate of being a lackey. Go ahead and mock me. This time I will definitely succeed in escaping the Ghost Ward. When that time comes, watch me closely. A girl's hands were bound by a lock. She couldn't speak. On the girl's chest was a keyhole. Cot Co was extremely smug. After having this keyhole stolen by me, you must be frantically searching, right? I've given enough hints. She could sense it. They're here. Cot Co was even more certain. Looking through her eyes again? She looked directly through the deep black hole. But Tiuluan wasn't surprised. Coming to peek at me? This woman indeed knows I am watching her. Kalea City, to the east. Dong Nam wanted to reconfirm with Tu Luan, how is the situation over there? He calmly described. Wait a moment. Now she's pulling the door hole up and walking around the room. Tu Luan noticed small details on the wall. There is a fox symbol. With wings. De immediately discovered the location. It's the Flying Fox Hotel. It's closest to Wang La prison. He thought of the worst case scenario. The door hole is indeed a criminal being escorted. Wait until she transfers the prisoner to Wang La prison. Then it will be hard to deal with. Tu Luan became suspicious. But she arrived in the city long ago. But still hasn't handed over the prisoner. Besides, her actions right now are clearly intentional. She wants to lure the snake into the basket. He then asked for Huang Tu Luan's opinion. So what do you want to do? He had already thought of a way. My current energy is enough to manipulate a giant. Dong Nam, how about we put on a play? Dong Nam was extremely confused. Play? What play? Tu Luan wanted to give them a taste of their own medicine. A play to also lure the snake into the basket. De was worried about his health condition. Huang Tu Luan, hold off on the play. The wound on your body is still bleeding. Are you sure you can persist? Tu Luan was completely confident. I am recovering at a fast speed now. This combat state is very powerful. Maybe I'm even unkillable. Black Egg reminded Tu Luan before acting. Tu know, if he hit your heart back then, you would still die. Also, after recovering, it will hurt like death. But Tu Luan teased, ha. Black Egg, you have a sharp tongue now. You don't hold back in your speech anymore. It appeared concerned. But back and forth, Tu know. You originally have long passed the time limit for maintaining combat state. But Tu Luan didn't understand. What do you mean? Black Egg provided information. The energy maintaining you right now doesn't come from me, but from yourself. He felt lucky. Isn't that very good? Besides, I also noticed the black color on your body has returned. It was sad because it couldn't help Tu Luan. I feel it right now, to know. I don't have much utility value anymore. He gently comforted it. Silly. Your value to me is decided by me. Not you. Your value is huge. Black Egg was extremely excited. Huge? How huge? How huge? He shyly replied. I'm not good with words. The point is, very huge. Tu Luan didn't want to waste precious time. Alright, rest assured. My body has no problems. His eyes showed determination. Now we should discuss how to perform the play. To lure the snake into the basket. AMC looked around and wondered. Strange. Why is it taking so long? Why hasn't the master returned to gather with us? The gathering point isn't far from the Flying Fox Hotel. It continued forward without any guard. Then immediately discovered someone's corpse. And exclaimed in surprise. Isn't this the giant that Huang Tu Luan controlled? Why is it lying here? AMC approached and touched his neck. A second later, it was shocked and horrified. No. There's no pulse anymore. AMC started feeling anxious, running around searching. Why is this happening? Where is the master? Master. Suddenly it startled when it discovered something. Ahead. Non-K was kneeling before someone, respectfully, Master. Because something unexpected happened. I took the liberty to find you. That person happily replied, it's okay. Oh hi. At this moment, he snapped his fingers. Something like an egg flew straight towards AMC, making it surprised. Here, when it was just a bit away from AMC's face, that thing shattered, and released white smoke straight into the eyes. In just a split second, AMC was knocked out and fell to the ground. Only then did that person calmly speak. Alright, speak. Non-K brought out a box. Inside contained something. Master. Look, this is the egg brain. We swapped it back before the ghost ward seized it. That guy also understood the intention, so that's it. The Blackwell people prepared a setup. Parasitic egg bacteria, huh? We really shouldn't interfere. Swap it back. Let the red-skinned people taste a new flavor, that's also fine. Looking at the egg brain in the box, it emitted an extreme creepiness. Non-K obeyed instantly. Yes, but this bacteria has already parasitized me. Even so, he calmly continued. It's fine. Just tiny egg bacteria. I'll remove it for you. He was immediately grateful. Thank you, Master. Next. From 2 fingers, he opened a small hole in space. That hole gradually grew larger under the finger's control. Then it got bigger and bigger. A while later, an object like an egg appeared. It is called a nurturing item. That person stepped inside the nurturing item. Non-K continued to speak. Master, reporting to you a bit. I have taken the door hole created by Huang Luan and forcibly put it into the prison. Inside the egg, he praised with satisfaction, very good. You can always keep up with my rhythm. It continued to express, Master. Kotko has an arrogant personality. Dragging her into Huang Luan's camp. I feel she will ride on Huang Luan's head. I feel it's not very appropriate. From inside the nurturing item, cables slowly pierced through the shell. It plugged straight into Non-K, along with the voice. Kotko's parents come from a life ovum. For us, she is more beneficial than harmful. It's fine. This is also a test for Huang Luan. Non-K said nothing more and immediately obeyed. Yes, I understand. Then that person seemed to remember something and continued to order. Right, inside the prison. There happens to be someone I want Huang Luan to meet. You arrange it. Hearing that, Non-K wondered. Who is it? He revealed, a black will person claiming to be from the copy world. You. Saying this, Non-K seemed to startle and realize something. Scene change, meanwhile, elsewhere. Luan voiced his curiosity. Kotko, I have a question. If you are a top-ranked assassin of the Ghost Ward, with formidable skills, why are you afraid of little giants? Kotko explained without hesitation. It's not fear. They are just people sent by the Ghost Ward to supervise me. What is there to be afraid of? Hearing this, Luan was even more puzzled. Supervise. She helplessly revealed, fine. Since I chose this method to meet you, then there is nothing to hide. My whole body was planted by the Ghost Ward with a special type of goo poison. It can move in my blood to control me. It seemed Luan understood the issue. So your true purpose is to escape the Ghost Ward. Kotko quickly confirmed, you guessed right. When I went to the land of Duknan to execute a mission, that was the second time I discovered an energy singularity. Since then, I have always paid attention to the changes there. Until you guys arrived. He realized it only then. So you discovered the singularity early on. But you've been in the world of giants for so long. Couldn't you find a way to leave? She explained, it's very difficult. The appearance of a singularity is very rare. Also, according to the information I currently have, besides the singularity, there is only the secret door of the red-skinned people. Hearing that, Luan was startled. He guessed red-skinned people referred to him. Kotko explained further. This secret door can only be opened by red-skinned people, and the door's location is not fixed. So ordinary people cannot utilize the secret door. Luan guessed blindly. So one can only enter and exit by being led by a red-skinned person? But she denied, that's also not realistic. When an ordinary person enters the secret door, the body won't withstand it, tearing apart and dying. Hearing that, he probed more carefully, then what about Demon Crow? How does he get through? Kotko calmly revealed. Demon Crow has a bone orb on him. This thing seems to be an evolution of the origin egg. It is a mystery. Over many years, it hasn't increased. There are only 15 orbs. This information surprised Luan even more. Bone orb used to be an egg? She continued, I thought you. But before finishing the sentence, Kotko startled and realized something. A second later, she covered her ears tightly with both hands. Collapsed to her knees, screaming in pain. Witnessing this, Luan asked in confusion. What's wrong with you? Kotko, face now turned blue-black, tried to say. This is goo sound. At this moment, not far away, Du was using his hand to blow a tune. On his hand were perforated holes. Like a flute. The sound blown out just flew to Kotko, causing her pain. But Luan panicked. Goo sound? But I don't hear anything. She held her head in pain. Explaining with a trembling voice. This is low-frequency sound waves. Only those poisoned with goo can hear it. He looked at Kotko and pondered. She doesn't look like she's acting. Despite the pain, she still tried to whisper. In 1 hour, I will enter the prison. You can manipulate the prison guard to enter. It shouldn't be hard. Hearing this, Luan suddenly asked. How do you know I can manipulate giants? She still patiently replied. The energy inlaid on him is similar to the energy on you. The prisoner with the door hole is locked in the maximum security area. This is a place ordinary guards cannot go. His face was full of confusion hearing Ko speak. Tulwon asked. So you mean we must cooperate? She trembled with pain but still managed to say, correct. Ko reflected. Now the door hole is not in my hands. I have no leverage to negotiate with him. I can only compromise and cooperate. Du raised his threatening voice. Ko, if you still don't come out, I will raise the sound to stage 2. By then you will be in agony, wishing for death. Don't call me cruel. I have to go. Hope that in an hour, I can see your figures. She staggered up and said to him. Tulwon, full of thoughts, looked into the distance. At this moment, Black Egg impatiently asked, Duh, how is Tuno's side? He shouted furiously. Damn it. My clone lost. If my main body were there, let's see how he can be arrogant. It sweated and asked, Hey Da, what happened exactly? Da whipped his head around and replied. Fwang Tulwon's side is still unclear. Hope the time I bought is enough for him to discuss. Before he could finish the sentence, he heard a noise. Dong Nam and Am-chi slowly walked in. He worriedly asked that person. What happened? Why did it take so long to return? He recounted, on the way back, I met a stalker. Black Egg flew back and forth asking. Stalker? Is it another little giant? Dong Nam coldly replied, perhaps. Da heard and wondered, perhaps? Why perhaps? He sweated bullets recounting, the memory after dodging the stalker. I don't remember at all anymore. Da seriously speculated. So your opponent might have memory-locking abilities. But why did he wipe your memory? Am-chi, when you went to find him, did you discover anything? He asked Am-chi next to Dong Nam, who also just shook his head. I don't understand either. Can't remember anything. Suddenly Black Egg spoke up. So what about the giant Tuno controlled? He replied, he came back with us. He's outside. Da and the group stepped outside. He slowly observed and said. Now we can only wait for Fwang Tulwon to return to connect. Then the giant looked up blankly. Suddenly Da spoke up. It's true. The maximum security area in the prison is very hard for us to enter. According to what I found, there are 4 levels beneath the prison. And the maximum security area is on the last level. He walked in and slowly said. So the giant outside will have a hard time leading us into the maximum security area. I feel that cooperating with Ko, we must be careful. He and Dong Nam grunted in unison. Tulwon ordered, let's go. At the dark Wang La prison, in the long corridor. He and his 2 brothers stepped down from the giant's large hands. He curiously asked, where is she? Tulwon also curiously looked around and said. Ordinary guards can usually only stop here. She definitely knows. Before he could finish, Dong Nam shouted, there. He pointed to the corridor high above. Right up there was Kot Company. She pointed her hand, whispering. Over here. All 3 looked up at Kot Company. He and his brothers ran after her. They asked her, the little giant isn't coming? Ko quickly replied. The last level of the prison has only 1 exit. If he stays at that entrance, I certainly can't escape. Tulwon urgently said, must speed up. The time until the key disappears is less than 2 hours. Hearing that, she also panicked. The area of the last level is very large. If time is so urgent, I need you to resonate vision to determine the location of the door hole. He was surprised after hearing her speak. Immediately asked. I thought you had the information of the confinement location? We only know the approximate area. But if the prisoner is suddenly moved to another area, it's not impossible. We must confirm to avoid wasting time. Tulwon slowly stopped and said to her. Okay, I know. He called out, Black Egg, come here. It quickly took out the key. Suddenly from under the ground, something stabbed up. Bone shards stabbed up one after another, forcing Dong Nam and Da to jump up to dodge. There's something underground. Black Egg just reminded. When the key it held in its hand flew away, Black Egg panicked, turning left, turning right, falling into confusion. She held the key and said loudly, the key. Thanks. Turns out Ko trapped him. Tulwon quickly ran after, shouting loudly. Ko, you are playing tricks. Was everything you said a lie? She used magic, causing the bone fragments to grow into a wall separating the 2 of them. Ko calmly replied. No, what I said was all true. It's just that I only trust myself. He slammed his hand against the wall made of thousands of bone fragments. Furious. Damn it. He ran up behind. Luan was also annoyed. The path is completely blocked. This damn girl. He suddenly changed his expression, strangely calm, and said, "It's fine. She will come back to us to atone. Because only I can use the key." Still at the dark Wang La prison, Du looked up, hearing a giant hurriedly running in with his accomplices, shouting loud, "Do you guys know? Just now, in the abandoned building in the city, the body of Thap San was discovered." That group of accomplices asked in surprise, "What?" He remembered the hulking giant, covering one eye, and wondered, "Thap San?" The accomplices also whispered back to that guy, "Are you guys mistaken? I just saw him a moment ago." Du was suddenly startled. He quickly stood up and whispered, "Not good. Did this girl conspire with outsiders? Wanting to escape again?" Du pondered. On Kotko's side, she was holding the key, thinking in her heart, "In this world, no one is worth trusting." She ran desperately with unfinished thoughts. "Whether in the past or now, the only person I can trust is myself." Kotko ran desperately towards the door. "I want freedom. No one block my way." She stared at a target with a door hole. "Scaring that girl." Kotko shouted loudly, frustrated and annoyed. "When she couldn't insert the key. Impossible. Why can't I even insert it?" Kotko continuously used force, but all her efforts became meaningless. The girl couldn't take it anymore, and angrily shouted, "If you want to kill me, then be quick about it. You shut up." Her voice trembled as if she was about to cry, surprising the girl. "I cannot give up yet." She formed a hand seal, aiming straight at the person in front. That girl couldn't resist, she could only widen her eyes. Suddenly, she collapsed, losing consciousness. In the cold corridor, Kotko used all her strength to lift the girl's body, holding the door hole over her head. Eyes wide open and determined. "As long as I can leave here, nothing else matters." De looked around and spoke up. "Huang Luan. The new giant you controlled is definitely directionally challenged. Shouldn't we go to the entrance? Just arrived? Why do I feel like we're going deeper?" Then he replied, "This giant is under manipulation state. Surely he wouldn't play tricks, right?" "Right, Black Egg?" Black Egg flapped its wings and replied, "Right. Creatures with brains, once manipulated, will always obey orders. Unless he has no brain." Luan quickly deduced, if he had no brain, he wouldn't listen to the command to lead us. He turned his head, angrily uttering a reproach. If it weren't for Kotko causing such a big commotion, luring the prison guards here, staying put and waiting for her would be best. Dong Nam coldly said, "She intentionally made it big, so we couldn't chase after her. It's just, did she guess that we would be at the entrance waiting for her?" Luan turned sharply to him and replied firmly, "That woman is very sharp. She definitely could guess it." The giant suddenly stopped and spoke. "I cannot go any further ahead," he asked loudly. "Why did you lead us to a dead end, huh?" That giant hesitated and explained, "No, down below. The giant said this place is a shortcut. Passing through here is very fast, and can reach the entrance location." After the group landed safely from the giant's shoulder, it spoke up, "Know, so he is leading us on a shortcut." Luan turned back to look, his mind full of questions. Strange, why didn't he say so at the beginning? Forget it. Right now, the most important thing is to quickly get inside the entrance. After walking back and forth for a while, his mind was filled with worry. Walking for so long, if not going up and down, then it's winding around. It doesn't feel right. Suddenly there was something ahead, filling Luan with surprise. It turned out to be a silent door that caught their eyes. He shouted angrily, "It's a dead end. Ahead is a prison cell. We were tricked by that giant." He sweated profusely, bewildered. I felt something was strange. But why did he have to lead us here? Da also fell into deep thought. The location of this prison cell set up here is very strange. Besides, the prisons on this path all have guards. Only this place doesn't. Could it be empty inside? Let me go check. A husky voice spoke up. Dong Nam approached the door. After looking through the small glass window for a moment, he saw a woman. Dong Nam spoke. "It's not empty inside. A woman is locked up. But it's so strange. There's a layer like a bubble on her. Suddenly, a piece of transparent bubble flew from the inside, passing through the thick iron door. It sucked his whole body in, causing the group to shout in unison, "Dong Nam." The bubble quickly tightened, making it harder and harder for him to breathe. The woman inside the room shouted, "If you don't want to die, tell that woman to return the item to me." Dong Nam's body gradually floated up, forcing Tu Luan and him to hold his legs down. Amchi shouted urgently, "Master seems unable to breathe." They said urgently, "Quickly burst this bubble layer." He tried every way, but couldn't pierce the bubble membrane. Strange, what is this thing? Completely impossible to pierce. Suddenly there were footsteps approaching them. Then Ko arrived with the girl's body, ordering them, "Quickly get him out of here." Tu Luan saw her and called out in surprise, "Ko?" Then confusedly repeated the words. "Here? Out of here?" The woman in the room heard the noise, and raised her voice, shouting outside. This voice is her. "Smelly woman. Return the item to me immediately. Other things are not important. I just need the pendant." He heard and wondered, "Pendant?" De turned his head and scolded Ko, "Smelly woman. Did you steal from the woman inside?" She didn't care about anything. Arrogantly ordering Tu Luan, "Ignore her. Quickly put the key in the door hole. Du and the guards are coming soon." Du and the prison guards were rushing to catch up. He heard Ko and was stunned. "What? Even the guards are chasing us?" She shouted loudly, urgently ordering, "Hurry, Fuang Tu Luan. Quickly use the key to plug into the door hole. Otherwise we will all be caught." Suddenly, the woman inside whispered with a trembling voice like she was about to cry, "Fuang Tu Luan." She said, "Fuang Tu Luan? I didn't mishear, did I?" Tu Luan quickly took the key, inserted it into the door hole. The woman's voice suddenly spoke up. "Tu Luan, is that you?" "It's me, big sister." He heard those words and could only stammer, "Sister? Sister?" The gloomy night forest. Under an old tree. Round black and white eggs swayed back and forth. The white-haired man listened attentively to the situation report. Just now felt abnormal energy. Ambush executed. Yes. Everything done as you said. Rest assured. Whitehair turned to say, "Tu Kai. Reinforcements are on the way. Orders from above. Primary mission is to capture the variant black egg alive. And the host. Others, kill if possible." Tu Kai turned, voice a bit excited. "Meaning I can go on a killing spree?" The white-haired man paused slightly and replied, "You could say that. But if you can't kill, no need to struggle with him. Quickly escape." Tu Kai's face gradually changed, the look of amusement becoming more intense. Asking, "Is there someone I can't kill?" Suddenly he laughed maniacally. The white-haired man was scared back by his aura. Thinking to himself, "Damn it. Why did they send this guy to cooperate with me? Once this guy gets red-eyed, he's hard to tame." Du Tian, silent since earlier, also spoke up. "Manager, if we successfully capture that variant egg alive, will I be rewarded? An eating egg on harvest day, right?" The white-haired man smiled ambiguously and replied, "If you succeed this time, a reward is expected. But whether it's an eating egg or not, we can only say when the time comes." Du Tian heard this, his mind no longer clear enough to recognize the trap. He wiped his mouth and laughed. "Is that so? Then there's a possibility. Really makes me look forward to it." 5 minutes ago, Tu Luan was losing control when called by name. "Tu Luan, it's me, your sister." He froze, mind halting. "Sister? She is my sister?" At this time, Du and the others were approaching, surrounding Tu Luan. The cave shook. Everyone was panicked. Amchi spoke up, "Master, we are back." Suddenly Tu Luan grabbed the arm of Kot Company. He asked her, "Ko, who exactly is she?" She said, "She is my sister." Ko's face was tense, reassuring. "Can we wait a bit to talk? The dogs behind have followed to this world." But Tu Luan was extremely tense right now. Frantically interrogating, "No. Explain it to me now. If you don't explain, I won't let you go." Ko sneered. "If I want to go, can you stop me?" She looked down at the hand grabbing her arm, then glanced at Tu Luan's expression. Slightly shaken. His body was trembling. Ultimately, she couldn't bear to just leave. "I'll tell you then." Ko squatted down, rummaging in the backpack, explaining. Lily. The ghost ward addresses her like that. I think it's likely not her real name. She added seriously. The reason for her pursuit is unclear, but I heard she killed a red-skinned mystic. The ghost ward accepted the commission, taking the capture mission. He was shocked. Killed one of them? Ko continued, correct. She is very formidable. Assassins sent out all vanished without a trace. The ghost ward had no choice but to find me and 4 top-ranked assassins to besiege her. Only then could we barely capture her. From the backpack, she took out a pendant set with a blue stone. This is the pendant she mentioned. Luan took the pendant, attentively observing the stone set on it. It was a blue gemstone. The color was incredibly beautiful. De approached and casually said, "Smelly woman. There are other things, right? Why not take them out?" Ko gritted her teeth, annoyed by his address. Taking it now. Taking it. Don't call me smelly woman randomly. He still stared at the pendant in his palm, turning it over, then opening the locket. Beneath the gemstone was a photo. In the photo, 2 siblings were hugging each other, laughing happily. Seeing this photo, Luan seemed to realize something. Fragments of memory flooded back. The sister in the photo was carrying her sobbing younger brother. Expression tense. Luan, we have to go. Be good, eat this and have a sleep, it'll be fine. Mom and Dad, you must absolutely not let anything happen. He held his head, ceaselessly calling, sister. When the memories passed, Luan gradually regained consciousness. Sister. She really is my sister. De was still fumbling with the items Ko took out from the backpack, complaining, so. Smelly woman, you stole her stuff. You wanted to keep this crystal egg for yourself. She was angered by his lawless words. Scolding, if you don't speak, no one will say you're mute. De kept babbling endlessly. Crystal eggs sell for sky-high prices in the world of giants. Chi wondered, that is the crystal egg. Suddenly, the mask on Dong Nam's face suddenly cracked. His eyes flashed with surprise. Immediately after, the crack grew larger. Fragments fell down just like that. From behind, a shadow rushed in quick as lightning. Whoosh, it sliced Black Egg in half. It was none other than Dong Nam. Luan saw that scene, as if lightning struck by his ear. Everyone also did not expect. What just happened? He screamed in horror, Black Egg. Dong Nam still didn't spare Black Egg. He reached out to grab half of the egg. Quick as lightning, Dong Nam took both Black Egg and Luan, and disappeared without a trace. Everyone could only cry out in astonishment. Ko panicked, too fast. In the blink of an eye. De still habitually scolded, deceiver. Is that Dong Nam? At this moment, Luan being carried on Dong Nam's shoulder was still in shock. Strange, why can't I use any strength at all? Where is Black Egg? He seemed to understand what he was thinking. Reassuring, Luan, don't worry. I am eliminating the part connected to Black Egg. I am saving it. Luan seemed to realize something, crying out, this voice. You are not Dong Nam. Who exactly are you? The person wearing Dong Nam's face now. Sneered. In the life ovum? Everyone calls me number 0. Outside the tunnel. Du Tian's group was still hugging their knees waiting. He wasn't patient enough and asked, Manager. Why is there no movement yet? Isn't it fine if we just barge in? The white-haired man said, haste makes waste. Suddenly a strange wind passed by, swaying the tall grass. Kai looked up, sensed something and immediately ran after. The white-haired man saw that and asked, Kai, what's wrong? He ran and replied, not right. Just now something must have flown past. Both Du Tian and the white-haired man were stunned. Kai still didn't turn his head back, running in the direction where something just flashed by. The manager called out, couldn't help complaining in his heart. So annoying. But Du Tian showed no sign of wanting to leave his position. He said indifferently, Manager, this guy is too sensitive. The master of that Black Egg isn't that formidable. If he just passed by, I definitely would have detected it. At this moment, De and everyone just rushed out. He ran and cursed, Dong Nam, bastard. My subordinate. Defeated general. You stop right there. Chi, held in his hand, struggled and cried out. Release me immediately. He turned to glare at Chi and scolded. Your master captured Huang Luan. You think you can run? Chi struggled hard. That person is not the master. Didn't give it a chance to explain. Shouting, shut up. I don't want to hear your nonsense. He was still unwilling. Loudly threatening, listen here. People ambushing here are in cahoots with Dong Nam, right? Step out yourselves. Surprisingly, someone actually stepped out from the bushes. It was Du Tian's group. The white-haired manager and Du Tian stepped out, followed by 3 eggs. He touched his neck, wondering, not right. This isn't the kid I met. But in his hand is the variant black egg. Only, why is it half an egg now? The white-haired man stubbornly said, half an egg. Even if only half remains, we must seize it. Then Ko turned, asking alone. You can handle it, right? He huffed a breath, replying, humph. Smelly woman, I don't expect anything from you either. She grinned strangely, a little reminder. I can sense. Quite a few energy bodies are coming here. Best to end it quickly. His face darkened. Seeming very angry. Look at you being arrogant. Escape your lackeys first, then talk. Ko turned to Du, instructing, don't follow me anymore. You are free too. We go our separate ways. Du spoke up respectfully, you cannot go. We must find that black brat. To lead us back to the world of giants. She laughed loudly. I went through so much trouble to get here. You want me to go back? No way. Du suddenly said something that didn't fit the situation. In this situation right now, do you want to hear me play music? Having said that, he immediately brought his hand to his mouth, starting the work. Without caring for Ko's permission. Seeing Du like that, she gritted her teeth. With a panicked look, damn it. I got it. Let's go find Huang Luan. Ko gathered momentum and jumped, rushing towards Du Tian's group. Blocking this lady's way. You all must die. Du Tian still hadn't realized the level of seriousness of the matter. Still laughing and talking, sending a beauty out to fight? I won't go easy on the fair sex. The manager's eyes were full of killing intent. Ordering, soldiers, hold her back. My target is the 2 variant eggs. In the hands of the long-haired man. Du Tian laughed then said, as you command. Ko was not panicked. On the contrary, she was a bit excited. Quick as lightning, she slashed a straight line, causing both the 3 eggs and Du Tian to be unable to dodge. They were cut in half. Ko tilted her head, revealing a smile like a viper baring its fangs, completely mismatching her gentle face. At this moment, at another place by the lake, Luan, having been left behind, was groggily reminding himself. So sleepy. No, I can't sleep. He wondered, where is this place? Behind Luan, 0. Was busy doing something with Tu Hai's body. Half of black egg was connected to another, larger egg. He wondered, what exactly is that guy doing? Dong Nam was using strange devices, connecting them to Tu Hai's slumped body. He muttered to himself. I'm seeing if he qualifies to become a puppet. Hearing this, Luan was stunned. Puppet? Wait, you can hear my inner thoughts? 0, while busy modifying, kindly explained. Through the small embryo on your back, I can hear it. Only then did he notice that a strange device was attached to his back. So on my back? You added this thing? No wonder I can't move. He turned around. With a cold, rippleless face, he said, don't rush. After fixing black egg, it's your turn. Luan was astonished by 0's words. Fix? What do you mean? Before, you said eliminating the connected part of black egg. What does that mean? Black egg hovered in the air. It was being repaired by countless strange tentacles from another egg, larger in size. He said with that same cold face. In your brain and in black egg, both have been inserted with a surveillance organ. Half of black egg's body has been permeated. Must be cut off. Luan was scared by 0's calm words. He stood frozen, mind confused. In my brain too? When was this organ put in? He continued repairing the devices on Tu Hai's body, while explaining, normally, it's right after birth and eating the connecting egg. But for you, it was probably when you were over a year old. At that time, I had just adapted to this body. Even if I wanted to help, it was too late. Luan lay prone on the rock surface, his mind still confused about the amount of information just received. Asking back, adapted to the body? Aren't you Dong Nam's split personality? 0 said, no. Dong Nam is only 22 years old. But I have lived for over 100 years. He exclaimed in surprise, over 100 years? He grinned, very doubtful, right? Because I am a parasitic brain inside Dong Nam's head. Now we share the same body. Tu Luan completely couldn't believe his ears. He asked himself, lived over 100 years? Parasitic brain? What kind of thing are you exactly? Zero frowned, what kind of thing? Why do you call me a thing? Although I don't have a body. I also come from Earth. I'm a real human. Tu Luan asked back dreamily, Earth? He stood up and explained. You were born here. Surely you haven't heard of Earth, have you? That was my original home. There, my name was Luke Din Hai, an unlicensed doctor. Although living wasn't very glorious, but it was quite exciting. I liked it a lot. Zero walked step by step closer to him. He said, until having relations with the red-skinned people. Suddenly appearing. Zero knelt on one knee beside Tu Luan and recounted. Becoming the first group of Earthlings to be placed into the egg of life. Hearing this, he cried out, First group? You guys entered without clearly investigating the red-skinned peoples. Purpose? He didn't answer, only quietly continued telling the story. Earth began to no longer be suitable for humanity to live. Hope appeared. Do you think people could still keep their calm? Tu Luan's eyes went wide in surprise. Zero continued. Humanity, us, you know, being given a few benefits by humanoid creatures. Assumed the other side were brothers. So they found 15 pioneers to go in there to probe the situation. He was shocked. 15 people? Identical to the number of bone orbs? Zero's eyes became sorrowful. We pioneers went in there. And all had to undergo the compatibility training of the red-skinned people. Tu Luan understood something. Verifying. Compatibility training is actually arranging for the bone orb. Isn't it? He spoke in more detail. To speak accurately, it was being modified. Also given a few secret orders. He asked back in astonishment, secret orders? Zero's eyes only now became frenzied. Kill the owner of bone orb number 0, simultaneously replace him. This is the order I was conveyed. Tu Luan cried out, what? From the start, you weren't number 0? Seeing the cards were on the table. He didn't hide it and admitted. Correct, I am number 15. Don't. He questioned, the red-skinned people. Want you guys to slaughter each other? Then what about the others' orders? No? Zero also enthusiastically explained to him. Each person's order is different. Only they themselves know clearly. Tu Luan asked. The order is conveyed through the egg. Connection? Do I have one too? He replied, no. Low-rank eating eggs cannot directly convey the Eggman's orders. He panicked and asked, what the hell is that? Perhaps even Zero himself didn't fully understand this thing. He said, information about the Eggman is very limited. I don't know much either. But one thing is certain. It came out from the core area. Tu Luan heard that familiar area. Asking back, the core area again? Zero propped his hand, not stingy with news, and said. It's just, whether this Eggman was originally something in there. Or mutated into that after entering. He hesitated, is still a mystery. He was made curious by his ambiguous words. His mystery grew larger. What you are doing right now, what is it ultimately for? Zero seriously stated his purpose word by word. My purpose is very simple. It is to leave the life ovum. Before the reset. He said then stood up. Tu Luan watched Zero's movements. Wondering, reset? He calmly explained. Meaning the life ovum will return to its most primitive and chaotic state. By then, all living things will meet a catastrophic disaster. He cried out, what? Zero stopped paying attention to Tu Luan. Turning to the giant egg. Before the reset, there will be a buffer period. For the creatures inside to make a choice. Either leave or continue to stay. But the current situation is the red-skinned people have tightly closed the exit. He shouted helplessly, these red-skinned people want to trap us. So we all die? He turned back with a calm face, those guys? Their heads are full of food. They just want, before the reset, to harvest eating eggs on a large scale. Tu Luan asked. So how much time is left before the reset? Zero touched Black Egg to check while replying. Less than half a month. He was shocked, clenching his trembling hands, no way. I can't stay here forever. I want to return to the world of giants to save my sister. He turned around. Your sister killed a red-skinned person. The prison is just a stopover. High probability is she will be transferred. The location transferred to is likely this world of ours. Luan was surprised by this news. Unconsciously cried out. Zero kindly explained. The scale on this side is the largest. The transfer will be conducted on this side. According to custom, the red-skinned people will gather to select merchandise. Then open the exit to take it outside the wall, providing it for the royal clan to enjoy. He adjusted Black Egg's position. While speaking, your sister committed a felony. She will be divided by the red-skinned people and eaten at the product selection assembly. Hearing this, Luan panicked. Divided and eaten? Zero's voice turned stern. Face serious. If you want to save your sister, you must act on the harvest day. Alright, little Black Egg, okay. Zero pulled Black Egg out from the tentacles. Calmly said, your turn. He looked over. Wait. I'm not done asking yet. Only seeing the device on his back. Zero activated it a little. He immediately fainted defenselessly. Outside. The core area of the life ovum. The transition area. Ront, captain of the search team, specially under the Red King, was begging. Please spare me, sir. Min 9 remained calm. Don't look at me with pleading eyes. His voice was ghostly. Send the message. You all misunderstood the definition of the reset. Rond was shaken by this news. Stunned, he cried out. Min 9 glanced at him. Said, it is not an incident that will suddenly strike one day, but a process of purging. He walked step by step closer to Ront. The black mist gradually vanished, revealing a gray brain. Min 9 approached it, voice echoing through the night forest. The head brain has switched from creation to destruction. Countless egg sacs hung high above. Min 9 remained calm, simultaneously bringing the apostle of evil about to be born. Completing the reset process. He stood before that brain like a supreme god giving orders. All living things, prepare to welcome it. Scene changed to another place. Luan paused a bit, looking to the side. Immediately after, he flashed a warm smile. Black Egg. You're awake? Black Egg looked up at Luan. You know? Where is this? Luan bent down and explained. This is Base 0, beneath the East Lake. Being picked up by him, it asked in confusion, 0? Luan's expression became serious. You've been in a coma for a few days. I'll explain everything to you as soon as possible. But the harvest will start in 2 hours. So we must quickly prepare. Immediately after, the group of 3, Du, and Kotko walked over with 2 other eggs. He spoke up, I've been waiting for you to wake up. Black Egg. It cried out in surprise. And even Kotko? Why are you guys? Why are there 2 more eggs? Immediately stated the plan. We will split up to act. Kotko behind calmly spoke, me. And this guy will disguise as food ingredients to sneak into the red-skinned people's product testing meeting. Du also stated his position. And I will be on the periphery, acting as support, and relaying information in time for everyone. Black Egg asked skeptically. So what about me and Tu know? Then Luan poked his head out and said. We will work with number 0. To find my sister's location and the whereabouts of the Eggman. Black Egg was a bit surprised. Eggman? He nodded in confirmation. Yeah. Heard that the person in charge of this harvest has changed. The replacement is the Eggman. And he will escort the goods out of the city walls. Although regarding news about him, number 0 doesn't know much. But I heard that knowledge about the entrance and exit of the life ovum has been transferred to the red-skinned people. Listening to this, it wondered. Is that for him to control and find the exit? He looked at Black Egg and slowly explained. Now, because we don't understand the Eggman, there are many variables. Originally, we wanted to rescue my sister, then disguise as high-quality food and escape from the walls, together with teammates. He continued, but if the Eggman acts right now, then I'm afraid he will see through the disguise that 0 helped us create. It was confused. Asking back, is the Eggman that formidable? Luan replied. The Eggman has a body made of pine nut kernels and can see through any object. Black Egg was surprised. Huh? So what is our solution? Destroy the pine nut body? Kotko spoke up. Zero said that the Eggman's ability is certainly not inferior to the red-skinned people. So it's very hard to destroy him. Therefore, we need to use your ability, Black Egg. Black Egg was a bit confused. Ability? Controlling energy? Tuno can use it himself, right? Moreover, last time it didn't work on the red-skinned people. He immediately denied, no. What we need is the ability to stop time of yours. It helplessly explained. Tuno, I can only stabilize the opponent's energy. That's all. Moreover, the frozen person is still conscious, and time doesn't stop. But he said, Black Egg, you stopped time 3 times during these few days of coma. It seemed surprised, informed by Luan, although it was only a few tens of seconds, but time really stopped. Moreover, when it stopped, only I could move. Black Egg was just confused. But I don't have any impression of it. Recall a little. At that time, you kept muttering that you must be dreaming. Try to think back on what you were dreaming. It startled, then recounted, I dreamed of a huge head. That thing called out with a deep voice, child. Take my hand and rebuild this world from death. Then Black Egg said, this brain was inviting me to join it in destroying heaven and earth. The other 4 looked at it in astonishment. It continued telling, and then I saw another self, but with only half a body. It wanted me to be loyal to that big brain and attacked me madly. Thinking a bit, it said, and dreams like this kept appearing continuously. Before finishing the sentence, Black Egg looked blankly. Oh, everyone? Luan looked behind, then immediately spoke up. Black Egg, you stopped time again. It flew up looking at the other 3, still a bit dazed. Everyone really stopped. By the way, Tuno, why stop it? He stood up and replied, to get a sample from the Eggman to help Zero find his weakness. Black Egg asked timidly, so where is that Zero person now? Luan quickly replied. He already set off ahead. This made Black Egg confused. Huh? We aren't acting together with him? Then how can we contact him? Luan pointed to his ear. Through this thing that looks like a mole. Just imagine that person in your mind. And order, connect. Then you can connect with him. If you don't want to talk to him, just order, disconnect. An electronic sound rang out. He contacted me. Then a voice from the other side said, Shaoluan. I found the location of the Red People's base. It is currently located right beneath the school that you attended. Shaoluan was stunned. Beneath the school? He rushed to the school, carefully avoiding others' gazes. While Black Egg said, Shaoluan, I finally understand. Zero is another personality of Dongnan. But why does everyone trust him so much? That reset stuff is all just things he said alone. Shaoluan looked back and replied. At first, we didn't believe him. Until he showed us a video clip. It looked at him suspiciously. Video? Thinking back, Shaoluan's face went pale with fear. A clip about a person from another life egg being hunted by something. From the center all the way here. Black Egg asked worriedly, Shaoluan, you mean the fugitive is from another life egg? Shaoluan nodded. Knowing this news from the conversation of 2 humanoid creatures. It wondered, 2 people. He recalled and replied, that's right. These 2 humanoids were competing to hunt that person down. In their struggle, they mentioned the reset. Then Shaoluan offered his speculation. Those 2 humanoid creatures must be competing for the leadership position in the reset. Black Egg seemed surprised. Competing? While looking around, Shaoluan chatted with Black Egg. They mentioned the mastermind. We guessed it might be their boss. They are competing to gain this mastermind's favor. It paused as if realizing the mastermind. Could it be the giant boss I saw in my dream? Confirming safety, Shaoluan moved quickly. Very likely. While walking, Black Egg asked cautiously. So how was this footage obtained? He answered, I heard number 0 analyze it. Probably copied from a human retina. He walked while looking around vigilantly. Black Egg continued asking, is this person still alive? He quickly replied, that is unclear. Anyway, the image isn't the original. The clarity isn't high. Suddenly that voice rang out again, Shaoluan, over here. 0. Standing in front of a classroom door, smiling at Shaoluan. Beneath the school, 2 figures were moving hurriedly. Moving. As he ran, he looked up at the strange things on the wall. Are the things on the wall what the Red People use for surveillance and defense? He answered decisively. That's right, I've studied this for a while. Seeming still doubtful, Xiao Luan asked again. Right now, in their eyes. Are we really like invisible people? Zero answered. Hide the energy on your body. And it won't detect us. During the time I trained you guys. Now is the time to test it. Black Egg in Xiao Luan's bag suddenly felt worried. Xiao Luan, I've never trained. I don't know how to hide energy. He looked back and explained. Don't worry, number 0 pasted a layer on you. It can conceal your energy. It was surprised, oh. Then asked, have you found my sister's location yet? 0 ahead answered. Zihai has found it for us. Xiao Luan immediately felt happy, that's great. Finally found her. Black Egg asked blankly, Xiao Luan, who is Zihai? He repeated, the person from before. Ambushed outside the cave, wanting to attack us. After he was modified by number 0, he is now on our side. It felt a bit apprehensive, modified. 0 running ahead suddenly spoke up, Xiao Luan. Although we found your sister's location. But, Xiao Luan asked worriedly, what's wrong? He answered. Currently, an Eggman is heading to your sister's place. Hearing that, Xiao Luan was surprised and worried. Elsewhere, some people cried out in admiration. Goddess, truly a goddess. Strange. There's such a beauty in school. And I didn't discover her? Guiji happily enjoyed their admiration. Who is she? Who is she? So seductive. Dee walking beside her just felt bored. I told you not to dress revealingly, look at that. You've attracted so many glances. She retorted angrily. Glances what? Those are eyes mesmerized by me. He smiled calmly, mesmerized? You really don't know your place. Just don't get in my way. Guiji looked down and mocked, get in your way? It's actually your hand. Just don't suddenly turn into a giant. Hey, didn't you see it's healed? You need eye surgery. She frowned and complained. Talking to you is really tiring. Suddenly a sound rang in Dee's ear, making him pause. A bit, then asked, what's wrong? The giant has been lured elsewhere. He lowered his voice to ask, watch that girl for me. Dee was immediately stunned. Watch? Brother, you're about to lose your life. Why care about her? Could it be you're still stubborn about bringing her to the giant world? Giant, Du immediately denied. Not me. I'm just. He quickly interrupted him. You just like her, right? Du stammered a denial, don't talk nonsense. Dee smiled, teasing, this guy. The harvest is about to begin. Then the eggs above their heads. Each sucked something away from. Back to beneath the school. Xiao Luan asked hurriedly, is the place ahead where my sister is locked up? 0 immediately stopped him, wait. The two stopped. He looked at brother number 0 suspiciously, could it be? 0 replied, that's right, it's the Eggman Ming 9. Ming 9 was standing right in front of them at this moment. Ahead in view was Ming 9 and 2 henchmen. We arrived late. This egg person has finished meeting your sister and come out. Nam transmitted a reminder. You don't need to worry about your sister either. He won't attack the target. The shared food of the red people. Xiao Luan pursed his lips in confusion. Coming specially to meet her before harvesting. What is it for after all? He raised his eyebrows to explain. Probably wants to know some information. From your sister's mouth. Nam's words made him even more suspicious. Information? He predicted seriously. I guess it's information. Related to the copy-human world. Hearing this, Xiao Luan was startled and skeptical. Copy-human world? Is that where the life egg is? Nam looked at him and corrected. It's inside another life egg. The more Xiao Luan listened, the more astounded he felt. You mean she was in another life egg before? He whispered, I'm not sure about this, have to ask her. He was clearly still tense. After that telepathic conversation, Nam didn't say much, turning back to the main topic. Xiao Luan, the egg person is in front of us. Now is the time to use your abilities. Yes. He peeked out to look at Ming 9 and his gang. Nam hurriedly reminded, because after time pauses. Only you can move. While transmitting, he took out a tiny bottle. Use this to gently scrape him. Then you can get a tissue sample. Xiao Luan took it. Before using it, he asked clearly, will scraping hurt him? Nam quickly reassured him. No, it's just like being gently brushed by a thin veil. Hearing that, Xiao Luan felt assured to proceed. I got it, Black Egg. It appeared immediately. I've grasped the key point. Black Egg's whole body gradually emitted a blue light due to magic. Immediately after, time stopped. Nam asked with some doubt, stopped? Xiao Luan. If we stop time now, why not kill this egg person directly? Ming 9 was also standing still at this moment, motionless. Xiao Luan quickly jumped up and left that spot. He answered while approaching him. This egg person holds the major secret of the exit. He can't die yet. Besides, it's unclear if we can kill him. What if we can't kill him? The distance between Xiao Luan and Ming 9 got closer and closer. Before saving my sister. We can't alert the enemy yet. He slowly took out the bottle from before to perform the task. Now just need to gently scrape the back of his neck. Number 0 will have a way to find his weakness. In Xiao Luan's sight, his nape was exposed. This should do it. But before he could do it, something flashed by. So fast it left no afterimage, startling him. Xiao Luan turned his head in bewilderment and suspicion. He dazedly asked it repeatedly. Just now. Clearly something flashed past the top of Black Egg's head. This is impossible. We have already stopped time. It could only sweat helplessly. I don't understand what exactly this is either. After a while of no movement, Xiao Luan looked around again. Strange, it doesn't show itself here. Black Egg had to rush him to leave. Xiao Luan. We don't have much time, don't worry about it anymore. Get the tissue sample of the egg person first, then we'll talk. Xiao Luan. Only then reacted and rushed forward. But right after, several ropes were thrown out, tightly wrapping around his hands and waist. Xiao Luan was startled and turned back. Immediately, that thing pulled him hard towards it. Xiao Luan was lifted up and dragged into a turn. He only steadied himself then, when he saw it was Li Xing the child. He smirked and reminded, it uses multiple bodies. Taking a sample is useless. Hearing this, Xiao Luan was startled. Stunned, multiple bodies? Li Xing continued to speak. Don't take the risk. Its main body is outside the life egg. Not the guy in front of your eyes. This body and the main body are not of the same material level. The composition is not similar either. If you really want to take it, you must take from the main body to have research value. Besides, I advise you, it's best not to get close to him right now. If his main body discovers you, then, you absolutely cannot escape his palm. Saying that, he slowly let go of Xiao Luan. Li Xing moved gently close to Ming 9. To his astonishment, why help me? He just seriously turned his head to signal silence. Xiao Luan was suddenly startled and bewildered. Looking towards Li Xing, he raised the corner of his lips, turning towards him. Why? Because I want to deal with him too. Immediately after, time resumed. Ming 9 seemed to know nothing, bowed his head to remind when seeing him. Li Xing. Why did you follow? Don't run around everywhere. He obediently replied, yes, father. That call surprised Xiao Luan. Father? After the incident just now, Xiao Luan and Nam had to rack their brains for another plan. Share a body, Looks like we can't start with the egg person. He suddenly remembered a detail. That child called the egg person father. They must have a father-son relationship. He rested his chin on his hand and thought. Regardless of whether it's a father-son relationship or not. The fact is he helped us. We can find another breakthrough from him. Xiao Luan appeared hesitant. But the information we have is limited. Nam had to reassure him. Don't rush, he will definitely find us again. While discussing, they were suddenly startled by a noise. There's movement. Right below them, two subordinates were passing by. Xiao Luan quickly recognized the person they were taking away. Sister. He clenched his fists and suggested to number 0. I feel now is the right time. We swap sister out first. Nam asked back, slightly distracted. But Black Egg just used the ability not long ago. Can it be used a second time? Xiao Luan turned to him and affirmed. Yes, on the way here. Black Egg and I rehearsed it several times. Black Egg also spoke up slowly at this moment. Right, there's only a discrepancy of 1 or 2 seconds. Nam tilted his head, hesitating. The main issue now is the Ingui. Reading your sister's brain is a bit difficult to handle. Saying that, he raised 2 fingers and pulled something out. Between Nam's 2 fingers now was the Ingui. When Black Egg stops time, Ingui can't read anymore either. Besides, letting Ingui casually get close. I fear the 2 red people will discover it. He calculated seriously. We can divide the time pause into 3 times. He was finally completely persuaded. Xiao Luan leaned over to probe. Right, Ingui. You can shrink your body at will, right? It quickly and firmly replied, right. He felt much more assured now. Then it's fine. Black Egg paused time once again. Xiao Luan immediately ran off quickly. His hand also carried the Ingui as planned. Black Egg asked him skeptically, Xiao Luan. This Ingui only needs to read the brain. Then it can transform into the appearance of another person? Xiao Luan concentrated on dodging the subordinates. While replying, right. A few days ago. We rehearsed the transformation, it's identical. He got close to her and attached the Ingui there. Just need to let it hide in sister's hair for about 2 minutes to finish reading. Before leaving, Xiao Luan didn't forget to pat her head to reassure her, sister. Wait a little longer. After Ingui finishes reading, I'll swap you guys. After making sure everything was fine, he left with peace of mind. The scene shifts to another place. At this moment, a group of people were walking. With eggs on their heads. Guiji and Dee were blending into the crowd. She reminded, the egg selection branching is about to start ahead. The path for the highest quality food must be the middle path. They quickly went to queue for inspection. In front of them was Ront. Dee couldn't help but notice him. There is a red person presiding. Guiji looked over and reassured. Look at him acting like it's none of his business. Probably won't easily discover us. Dee also affirmed. We have both controlled our energy. Within the data range of normal people. Just don't make so many expressions. Walk past stiffly and it'll be fine. She whispered a reminder. Worry about yourself first, the crystals are about to be used. To distinguish. Selecting food is done through the color of the crystal. To distinguish, purple is the best food. Blue is next, yellow is the most common. Guiji thought seriously. Previously used mixed crystals to check a few times. They were all purple. Passing through here shouldn't be a big problem. Then she quickly stepped forward for the check. The scanner was quickly brought close. After a few seconds, the machine turned purple. Guiji breathed a sigh of relief after seeing it. Sure enough, no problem. Done, she turned to head towards the middle path. As intended. Ront, who had been quiet all this time, suddenly looked up to notice. Guiji glided past without any expression. Until she passed without any hindrance. She secretly rejoiced, successfully passed. Behind her, it was Dee's turn to be checked. Unexpectedly, his turned out blue. Dee looked and couldn't help but be surprised. Strange, why is it blue? This is the scene shifting to where Guiji is walking. Although she appeared calm on the outside. But inside, Guiji was already panicked. Dee, what did you say? Blue? Why is it blue? He replied gloomily via transmission. I don't know either. Asked number 0, he said maybe because the rapid harvest raised the spirit stone data. She brushed that issue aside. And moved to an even more serious problem. But eggs showing blue and eggs showing yellow will directly separate the egg and the person. What do you intend to do? Dee had to choose a more dangerous plan. Let it separate. After faking death. I will come over there quickly. Guiji quickly suggested. Can't you escape first? But Dee dismissed that thought. It's not possible here for now. Before him was a group of giants. Devouring eggs ravenously. They continuously eating nonstop with both hands. The sight of their eating looked like they had been starved for a long time. Dee seriously observed the situation. Right now, quite a few red people gathered here. It was his turn very quickly. They came to eat secretly before the eggs separated. Seeing Dee, his attention focused on him. Guiji over here, although not at ease, but still had to accept it. Fine, this little matter. Surely you can handle it. Dee replied firmly, of course. After discussing, she walked straight ahead following the group. Scene shifts to Xiao Luan's original position. Two giants were still moving despite Black Egg using time stop. The more Xiao Luan observed, the more anxious he got. Damn it. Why does time stop have no effect on them? Black Egg spoke slowly. But isn't zero stop too? Finally, he had to ignore that issue. It seems for the red people. Time stop can only be cast once. It could only sigh helplessly. If I knew earlier, I should have saved your sister the first time. Xiao Luan turned to discuss with Black Egg. Do you feel? Can the two of us deal with two red people? It immediately rejected that idea bluntly. Of course, with Zero's ability. Perhaps he can handle one red person. What about us? For us, even a close subordinate is difficult. Besides, among red people, they can exchange information with each other. Their accomplices will arrive very quickly. By then, not only will we fail to save your sister, we will become criminals. As it spoke, its voice got smaller. We are still very weak. Suddenly he asked Black Egg to stop the ability quickly. If we let these two red people discover others, using time manipulation, we're done for. Black Egg didn't dare delay and obeyed immediately. Nom, silent until now, finally spoke up. Against red people. You can only use the ability once. Then there's no other way. We stick to the planned schedule. Find a chance to swap your sister during the tasting session. Besides, Ingui is with your sister now. We can also get new information in time. Xiao Luan immediately agreed, that's the only way. Before that, Black Egg, don't hide in the bag anymore. To make it easy for me to disguise you as a high-quality edible egg first. It, after hearing the whole plan, didn't dare to object. The scene shifts to another place again. Inside the elevator. Right now, not only Guiji was there, but there were also 6 other people. Waited so long. Just to gather enough 5 good quality eggs. She frowned, not revealing a trace of emotion. With such limited quantity, it seems the risk of being exposed while infiltrating is still very high. After a while, the elevator stopped. The group quickly left that place. In front of them, there were 5 other people locked in cages. Guiji silently observed the surroundings. Seeing the scene before her, she exclaimed, "Put in a cage? They really know how to play, huh?" Guiji quickly walked, moving to a position in line with them. Arriving there, she began to think. Now there are less than 10 people in total. The cage isn't big either. According to the recent energy source. Look. Within 50 m to the left, there are 2 more cages full of people. And the tasting session? Must be right below us. True to the guess, right below them was a whole hall. Those people were chatting non-stop. They exchanged words happily. Guiji deduced after a while. Right now in the hall there are only 4 red people. On this side, Dee asked in astonishment. Normally, you would have realized the danger level long ago. Is your brain flooded now? Guiji silently replied, about that. To go or not, I decide myself. Don't you often say, risk always comes with opportunity? Her words made him helpless too. But the situation now is different. Guiji curled her lips slightly, so faintly that it was hard for anyone to notice. Right now, perhaps the opportunity is right beside me. Right above her. It was Li Xing sitting and observing. After seizing the opportunity, he jumped down. Li Xing stood behind Guiji and calmly exposed. Big sister, since when did you discover me? Approaching, he reassured her, don't worry. I have blocked their senses. It won't affect our conversation. Li Xing took the momentum to get close and climbed onto Guiji's back. She quickly realized. This guy has been secretly following since we went down. If I'm not wrong, he is the child Feng Xiaoluan mentioned. He happily praised. Big sister is really calm. Guiji then smirked and moved her lips. Say it, what do you want us to do? Li Xing replied excitedly, a straightforward sister. Speaking decisively is what people like the most. Come out. At his call, Leah slowly poked her head out. Her appearance made her stunned. A little girl. Not letting Guiji wonder much, Li Xing proposed, I will turn her into an egg. Then swap her with the egg on your head. Although his words startled Guiji, her expression remained unchanged. Li Xing bluntly stated the condition. As long as you help me take her outside the wall. He affirmed seriously. I will help you get past them. Guiji immediately made a decision. Seems opportunity came knocking. Scene shifts to another place again. Xiaoluan and Nam decided to blend in with the people here. Black Egg curiously asked, Xiaoluan, what did Guiji say? Why suddenly change the route? To infiltrate the high-quality egg formation? He quickly explained. Right now she is talking to the little dragonoid. Li Sheng. Specific details have to wait for her to contact again. But she warned me to be careful of the 0 beside me. Hearing that, it was even more confused. Xiaoluan wondered silently. The little dragonoid told her that the current 0 is a copy. Black Egg was even more confused than him. Copy? What is that? Wait, so was he originally a copy or was he replaced? Xiaoluan replied. I'm not clear what happened either. But from the beginning, we didn't trust him much anyway. It's just the switch between Dong Nan and 0. Didn't seem fake at all. Is this something a copy can do? It sweated anxiously, that's right. Was he replaced when he went to the school? To handle work early? Xiaoluan reassured. Don't think too much, we've reached this stage. We can only be cautious and improvise. Suddenly Black Egg remembered, so Xiaoluan, what about your sister? If we all go to the high-quality egg team, how do we save her? He quickly replied. Little Dragonoid said she holds a big secret. So she can't die. They will secretly take her outside the wall. And the person we saw earlier was just a Dragonoid. Transformed into her shape. It asked wonderingly, is what the little Dragonoid said. Possibly a lie? Xiaoluan affirmed firmly. I believe in my intuition. Because back then, when I touched her head, I felt a strange current. Black Egg hesitantly probed. So where is your sister now? Xiaoluan answered, Guiji only said these 2 things. But I guess she will be taken outside. After all, the exit can only be created near the wall. Only then did it agree to switch topics. Itachi was arranged outside to investigate the exit matter. If your sister is taken out, he will definitely notify us. Right, so what about D? Xiaoluan's group and Nam had now been taken into the elevator. He answered silently. His egg was stolen and eaten by a red person. After discussing with Guiji, I decided to meet Itachi first then plan further. Suddenly Black Egg asked continuously. Shaoluan, I don't quite understand. You said the exit was created by humans. So where is the original exit of the life egg? Shaoluan recounted. After being locked tight by the red people from the outside, the gate seemed to malfunction and couldn't open anymore. It seemed to guess everything, so the method to create the current exit is what the egg person taught us. He quickly affirmed, that's right. Finally their elevator stopped at the 4th floor. The two of them were led to a large cage. They and two others stood in front of the cage door. Shaoluan speculated silently. We four must be the high-quality egg batch. Finally. Suddenly the surroundings moved. Going down? He guessed immediately. Seems the red people are impatient and can't wait anymore. Not only them but also other cages were also moved down below. A voice rang out. The banquet officially begins. Please be seated, distinguished guests. In the cage were Shaoluan and Nam along with 4 others. Beside them was the cage containing Guiji's group. On the giant's dining table, many eggs were displayed. They quickly sat at the dining table. Siwu turned to ask, how many high-quality eggs were obtained in this harvest? Another one replied, don't know why, but many died on the way. Currently only 25 left. Bai Lin smirked, chatting animatedly. Then we can't enjoy many high-quality eggs anymore. Then we still cut and share right here. The taste will be fresher. Long Ai immediately added happily, don't you forget. We have the right to choose 2 eggs to eat right here. That information stunned him and him. Choose 2 eggs right here? Even she was equally astonished. They seemed not to notice and continued gossiping. If that's the case, after entering the exit, who knows how many more eggs will die? The last batch has arrived. The king's hand only has a few left. He started putting food in his mouth while speaking. Who told the energy of the life egg outside the wall to be so strong? The guy asked back excitedly. The egg person said the drug has been improved, but don't know if it's effective anymore. Suddenly Li Xing, from out of nowhere, appeared right behind Long Ai. When the time comes, seeing the actual effect will tell, my lords. Immediately he and the one next to him were surprised. Turning back, Li Shang? You always appear and disappear like a ghost. Where is your father? Father still has some things to do. Will arrive a bit late. So he told Li Xing to come serve you all. Hearing that, Long Ai fell silent and pursed his lips. Black Egg felt uneasy. Asked Shaoluan again. Before entering the exit, did we take the drug? Shaoluan replied firmly. The artificial exit must be synchronized with the wall's energy frequency. This requires using drugs to synchronize. Otherwise, you'll be torn to death by the energy. Hearing that, it felt a bit paused. On this side, Bai Lin started urging Long Ai. This time it's your turn to choose, go choose 2 eggs quickly. Then let the kitchen handle them. He happily accepted. Look at your mouth craving. Alright. Going to choose now. Black Egg stood there unable to help fearing, we're dead, Shaoluan. That guy is choosing. If he recognizes us, we're done for. He quickly reassured it, don't panic. We were in combat state before, so he won't recognize us. Long Ai on this side started standing up. He walked step by step towards the iron cage. Arriving before the cages, Long Ai rested his chin considering, let me see. In general, those with better physical strength will have tastier eggs. His eyes scanned each person one by one. After examining for a while, Long Ai seemed to have chosen something he liked. Which 2 eggs to choose after all? His eyes happened to stop at Shaoluan and Nam. At this, Long Ai couldn't help but smirk wider. Unexpectedly, Li Xing appeared just in time and intervened. Seems the Lord and I share the same eye. I also like these 2 eggs. His words happened to provoke him, same eye. This little brat. Who shares the same eye with a lowlife like you? Thinking so, Long Ai happily pretended and pointed elsewhere. Li Xing, you guessed wrong. What I had are the 2 eggs over there. Thanks to that, he and the boy escaped danger. Li Xing suggested, these 2? Then let me help you take them to the kitchen. He tactfully refused, no need. We want to personally taste the fresh flavor. He didn't say much more. Truly knows how to eat. Shaoluan standing there all this time, hearing the conversation, couldn't help but exclaim. Seems this little dragonoid can handle these guys. Time passed, until a long while later. Long Ai easily got the 2 eggs as he wished. Alright, the 2 people over there having their eggs taken now lay collapsed on the ground. He placed 1 egg on the table. The other one he prepared to open. Everyone opening one first to see how my eye is. Long Ai's finger quickly slashed a horizontal line across the egg. Suddenly Ming-9 rushed out from out of nowhere to stop him. Stop! Cannot open it. To his astonishment, it swung its hand and knocked that egg away. The egg flew in a straight line, then smashed into the wall, until it broke in half. Inside revealed a pile of black slime. This is the egg that the black will person secretly put bacteria in. Ming-9's words stunned this whole group. Xiao Luan listened and was more confused. Black will person? That egg smashed into the wall and oozed a pile of black slime. While everyone focused on the egg, the person whose egg was taken earlier started moving his fingers. He glanced, secretly determined, before I die, I must kill one of them. And Long Ai on this side, his face had turned pitch black. Seizing this opportunity, he decided to sneak attack. Die for me, red people. But right after, he was pierced by his wing. Ming-9 then slowly walked over. Its eyes looked towards the cages. Then Ming-9, without a word, teleported himself. It stopped right in front of the cage holding Guiji. This surprise made her panicked. Reassuring herself, calm down, must not reveal any gaps. Ming-9 just stared inside the cage like that. Guiji, though scared, still appeared emotionless on the outside. The little dragonoid entrusted the person to me, surely he is confident. She stabilized her emotions again. I must be calm. Cannot reveal gaps. At this moment Li Sheng was slowly approaching. His tension was clearly visible. Li Sheng just looked, stared at Ming-9's back. Suddenly it swung its hand and fired a move, shooting straight to the cage next door. Immediately, a person carrying the black will person was revealed. Ming-9 spoke slowly. The 2 eggs with latent bacteria have been destroyed. Saying that, it ran towards that group and reported, my lords, this batch of high-quality eggs. I must move them before the trial. The trial where you judge the female prisoner from earlier. I will not attend. Long Ai was bewildered upon hearing this. Why the rush? Judging that woman is the highlight. Ming-9 honestly recounted, the king has issued a new secret order. I am only following instructions. That information stunned the whole group. Secret order? He suspiciously turned to ask Siwu. You and the king are closest. Did you receive any news? He replied without hesitation. The king didn't reveal anything to me. However, it seems that Len, the one searching for the ring core, has returned alive. At this point, Long Ai was a bit distracted. Returned? Ming-9 didn't say more, excused himself, and ordered. My lords, time waits for no one. I must get to work now. Egg engineers, bring in the bronze mirror gate. His subordinate quickly replied, Roger. The bronze mirror gate, under Ming-9's command, was brought out. Seeing that, Long Ai paused. Why use the bronze mirror gate? High-quality eggs can't withstand such strong pressure. Li Sheng quickly stepped forward to smooth things over. Don't worry, my lord. This was specially crafted by my father. This is different from the door you usually use to enter the inner world of the egg. He smiled friendlily. This door does not harm the human body. You can use it with peace of mind. Although he was still smiling on the outside, inside he was seething with anger. Li Sheng didn't care about Long Ai anymore. Instead, he turned and ran towards him. Father, if we use the bronze mirror gate, does that mean the production and export location has been selected, right? Ming-9 demanded in a low voice. You go quickly. Help transport these high-quality eggs. He obediently complied, yes. Done. Ming-9 turned back to them and suggested, my lords, I found a suitable place to create an exit near the wall. After finishing my work, you lords can directly enter the bronze mirror gate to reach the location. That will help save a lot of time. Siwu looked pleased upon hearing that. As expected of Ming-9, you are truly thoughtful. It quickly nodded, thank you, my lord. Very quickly, under Li Sheng's command, the locked-up people stepped into the bronze gate. Come on, hurry up. Xiao Luan secretly transmitted to D. Have you reached the level of creating an exit? On this side, he and Du observed while replying, it's here. The egg engineer is plugging a very strange object into the wall. He asked back in surprise, strange object? D immediately observed seriously, then described a strange creature. It has scales and a body very similar to an insect. On this side, the subordinate of Ming-9 was also holding an insect up to examine. Suddenly that insect let out a cry. When it was stabbed into the wall by him, it used the 2 horns on its head to stab straight into the wall. Immediately after, countless electric sparks shot out from its horns, spreading everywhere. 2 masked men still bowed their heads, rummaging through the suitcase to find something. Du hid in a corner silently watching. Do they want to arrange it into a triangle shape? Dee, standing next to him, frowned. That engineer keeps groping in the chest forever. Is the thing inside like mud? The thing inside the suitcase was molded by him into a strange shape. It does look a bit like it. Staring at it, he transmitted to Dee. Along the way, did you detect my sister's silhouette? He reported the previous situation to Xiao Luan. Although I didn't see your sister along the way. But people can be hidden behind the bronze mirror. His eyes immediately turned towards the bronze mirror. Giant in front. Must be hidden in there. He quietly nodded in a corner. Okay, I know. The atmosphere suddenly became quiet. From the bronze mirror, a pair of legs slowly appeared. When seeing the person appearing, Li Sheng hurriedly ran over. Father. The high-quality eggs currently. Total 23. 7 red lords. Plus father makes a total of 31 people. His face was full of joyful excitement. You want to synthesize 31 pills, right? He took something out and gave it to Li Sheng. Here, synthesize a few more. He reached out to receive it. It looked like a warhead. He stared at it and asked suspiciously. Are the extra ones saved for us? Ming Nine raised his eyebrow slightly and asked back, Li Sheng. Didn't I tell you? I would return quickly. You guys don't need to follow there. On the surface, he showed nothing, but inside he scoffed coldly. Li Sheng clenched his fists, veins popping out. You will come back? You basically don't want to take us out. Seeing his silence, he spoke up, Li Sheng. He was startled and replied, I know. We will obediently wait for your return. Ming Nine was secretly pleased, nodding slightly. Good, go ahead. Li Sheng turned around and walked away silently. We are just your lab rats. He thought silently as he walked. Haven't been able to copy into a true dragonoid. To you. We have lost our value, haven't we? It doesn't matter if I get out or not. His gaze pierced through the controlled crowd. But Leah, I want her to live well. Li Sheng went to stand in front of the gate. Space was warping. His eyes glued to the empty void. Li Sheng slowly lifted himself into the air. He stretched his hand straight into the gate. As soon as it touched, the hand seemed to be pulled in by a terrible suction force. Li Sheng frowned, suppressing the pain in his body. Seeing him like that, the people felt confused. From the gate, something suddenly poked out. In the blink of an eye, an orange flower bloomed. Li Sheng pulled the warhead-shaped object from his body. He opened the lid decisively. Poured the liquid from the bottle onto the flower pistil. From the pistil, 3 long stamens started to grow out. Green fruits started appearing on the long stamens. Standing aside, Du and Dee couldn't hide their astonishment. The fruit growing on the stamen is the medicine. He briefly remembered something. In the ghost ward, there is such a thing. Higher-ups worship it as a divine object. He looked over with suspicious eyes. Divine object? Du nodded. Heard this thing is a disaster. Brought out from the central area. Dee froze, looking surprised after hearing this. What? Disaster? Disaster like the egg honey? Wait. Could it be? This Eggman is the surviving human. Who walked out of the Forbidden Zone? 100 years ago? Standing aside, Ming Nine stared silently. Looking at the flower stamen and the fruits growing on it. Li Sheng gently lowered himself slowly. Immediately he turned to report, Father. The sound frequency has been corrected. He raised his finger with satisfaction. You worked hard. On the long stamens, the green fruits began to glow. Just like that, they flew straight towards Ming Nine. He looked intently at his palm, counting a total of 33 pills. Dee silently observed and evaluated. This thing indeed cannot bypass the little dragonoid. Du nodded while replying. Guji also said. Getting this fruit is almost impossible. He frowned, secretly calculating his moves. Now can only wait for the blood to quickly flow throughout the body. Dee's eyes suddenly widened fiercely. He remembered when lying on the ground. Next to him was Li Sheng standing there. You are Dee? Guji. Sister must have told you already. Dee closed his eyes tight, not moving at all. You continue faking death. No need to speak. Just listen to me. Holding the bottle in his hand, he talked to himself. The bottle in my hand is my blood. You and your companion just need to mix it into your blood. Pausing a bit, Li Sheng looked at Dee's face. Wait until it circulates throughout the body, then the skin color will turn to resemble mine. Then, I can help you retrieve the eggs and swap them for edible eggs with everyone in Team 5. Back to reality, he pursed his lips tight. Dew on the side eyes wide with surprise. Dee, the skin color on your face has changed completely. He turned around in panic, horrified. You too. His eyes were thoughtful, waited for so long. Finally the blood has traveled throughout the body. Over here, Li Sheng, hands behind his back, walked over. Father. It absorbed quite a bit of my blood. Is the medicine quality okay? He nodded, it's fine. He transmitted. Now just waiting for the little dragonoid to find a chance to help us infiltrate Team 5. Looking at him smiling ingratiatingly, Du's words rang out with a bit of hesitation. Previously in the Ghost Ward, there was a bounty that, if one found traces of the dragonoid extinct 500 years ago, one could receive 1 million shells. At first I thought it was a fairy tale. D spoke up, voice full of exclamation. Unexpectedly. Can actually see a dragonoid exist. Right? He twitched his ear to react. It's just that after mixing with his blood. Can we really get the eggs back? Du couldn't help but be surprised by his words. Definitely can do it. I will go out and personally kill that rotten red person to avenge my mother. He spoke up with some worry. Are you sure he is outside? D frowned, his voice when mentioning him was firm. Xiao Luan said that guy left earlier. Du seemed curious, turning to look at him. What's his name? He shook his head, not sure. Xiao Luan only described him as having a tall stature. Hearing that, he immediately offered a hypothesis. What if he is still inside the wall? Hearing that, D shook his head and affirmed. Impossible. I believe Xiao Luan. He wouldn't lie to me. D's eyes were glued to him in that crowd. Ming Nine's footsteps slowly moved forward. His hand gently placed on that protective wall. Ming Nine's other hand began to unleash power. Xiao Luan standing among them frowned, thinking. He is now using a different method to open an exit. What? It seemed to sweat in doubt. A different method? He thought for a while, then suddenly remembered. Heard Guiji say that red people will use a specialized glove to activate. Black Egg was confused. Specialized thing? Seeing it didn't understand, Xiao Luan explained. Only red people can use it. But the little dragonoid said. That glove is actually hand skin. Taken from someone. Hearing that, Black Egg was amazed. Gaping, hand skin from someone? Sounds so creepy. Outside, the two of them were watching intently. Then Li Xing appeared behind. You two, now is the best time. I came to help you get the eggs. They were startled and turned around to look at his smiling face. Ahead, the air suddenly became quiet. The eggs on the heads of those people glowed. The wall side started to move. Ming Nine's power created a gate. He looked at this scene with some suspicion. Is this the exit? After finishing, he turned back to look. Everyone, open your mouths. Immediately after, Ming Nine snapped his fingers. The fruits grown earlier shot out one by one. They shot straight in front of their faces. Everyone opened their mouths. Xiao Luan didn't know what his intention was but also opened his mouth. The fruit started entering his mouth. Xiao Luan chewed and felt its taste. An almond scent. Instantly, 2 black eggs appeared on both sides of Ming Nine. They transformed into the shape of his face. Must enter now. Everyone, follow. Dong Nan was the first to step in. He followed behind, hand gripping Xiao Luan tightly. Finally. We are about to reach the outside of the wall. Xiao Luan heard the voice whispering softly, His steps quickly entered the gate. Just stepping to the other side, Xiao Luan looked around observing. Just like that, that group of people stepped in one by one, following the black egg in front. It on his head was also sweating. Is this inside the wall, Xiao Luan? For the first time I cannot distinguish the border. Xiao Luan doubted. Cannot distinguish? Is this place so vast? Black Egg pondered, then shook its head to explain. I don't understand either. This place is like a space, composed of small dots of life. No borders. Catching on to Black Egg's words, Xiao Luan was confused. Small dots of life? Just like that, both silently walked into the vast space. Back to the outside, strangely quiet. From the mirror, Long Ai walked out with a gloomy face. He looked intently, then opened his mouth. All right. The lords have all arrived. Take the medicine, then enter. He looked at the giant suitcase, eyes full of questions. Ming Nine, what is your luggage for? He smiled, patting the suitcase. Just some of my research results. Long Ai raised his eyebrows, showing interest. Can you share a little? Ming Nine chose words to refuse without offending the lord. Of course. It's just that time is urgent. If we are late, can you explain the situation to the king? He was angry at being refused. But next to him Ront held him back. He is just curious. The main business is important, let's go in, Long Ai. Long Ai huffed coldly, then led his group inside. He carried the suitcase, not forgetting to turn back to instruct him. Li Sheng, behave and wait for me to return. He nodded, yes, father. Looking at Ming Nine's back, Li Sheng slumped down. Leah, I'm not here. Take good care of yourself. When they all stepped in, the gate twisted violently. It slowly disappeared from his view. Suddenly a strange object flew past Li Xing's head. He frowned, glancing at the object growing bigger. Blurry shape, can't distinguish. Li Xing's eyes widened, mouth open in shock. What is that? Scene returns to inside the gate. They walked steadily and rhythmically. Long AI's people followed behind gossiping. After this life egg resets. Don't know how many years it will take to produce new life. That's right. But isn't the king trying to breed in the colonial planet? But haven't seen any results yet. After a while, they reached the final gate. Xiao Luan finally finished walking inside the wall. Through this exit, we will successfully reach the outside of the wall. Xiao Luan sighed in relief inside, nodding, Great, everyone can leave successfully. Saying that, he quickly walked out. Just stepping out, Ming-9 was flustered in disbelief. Impossible, this is impossible. He looked around, shouting loudly. Why isn't it outside the wall? He suddenly appeared in front of everyone. Welcome to the central area of the manufacturing body of iOS Life Creation System. Looking at their bewildered faces, Ming-9 smiled. Next, enjoy to your heart's content. The party prepared for everyone. Long AI's group rushed out of the gate. Long AI shouted as soon as he got out. What is this, Ming-9? He stammered. We were forcibly led into the central domain. He was horrified. What? Ming-9 opened his third eye wide and smiled softly. Invading species from outside. I also invite you to enjoy this magnificent slaughter party. He was startled, cold sweat pouring out, repeating. Long AI regained composure, smirking coldly. Party what? You die first for me. As soon as he finished speaking, he spread his wings and rushed straight to attack. Long AI's move was suddenly reflected back. He stared, mouth agape in shock. Attack rebounded? Ron stepped forward, face horrified, pointing at Long AI. Your wings are melting. He looked back in horror, his wings had disappeared. Long AI hugged his body tightly and screamed. Ming-9 looked at that painful appearance and laughed with amusement. The sense of pain of your outsider species is truly slow to register. Alright, your opponent is not me. His next words confused them. But so that everyone can understand the true situation of themselves, the party will start in 15 minutes. Xiao Luan, who had been standing still observing, thought, after 15 minutes. Pausing a bit, Ming-9 smiled dangerously. Of course, this party is not just here. It officially begins throughout the entire life creation system. Both he and it were stunned to hear that. They want to kill all creatures in the life egg. Seeing them make no move, he shouted. Don't just stand there dazed, make reasonable use of these 15 minutes. Running is fine, hiding is fine, do as you please. He supported Long AI's body. Then said, Ming-9, the entrance and exit can surely be recreated, right? He slowly turned around with a somber expression. Do you feel that in front of the monsters of the central domain? Is this possible? Ming-9's words stunned the two of them. Hearing him say that, he smiled with satisfaction. Ming-9, this time in thinking about problems, seems to be smarter. They widened their eyes. What? Ming-9, you know it? He didn't speak, just bowed his head in silence. He gradually lost patience and interrupted them. Enough. I won't delay your time anymore. Make use of these 15 minutes. I will observe this grand party. See you again. Saying that, Ming-9 disappeared, not forgetting to leave a reminder. No, that's not right. Must survive to meet again, right? He vanished completely. Only his laughter could be heard echoing in their ears. His body trembled, gritting his teeth and cursing. Damn it. How did things turn out like this? Long AI panicked. Ming-9, what exactly is this? Have you been to the central area? He didn't answer the question. Only left the sentence, fend for yourselves, my lords. In anger, he clenched his fists and growled, You. What did you say? Ront looked around. Ignore him. Don't we have the gloves? Let's create an entrance and exit ourselves. Hearing that, Long AI turned to leave. Right, let's go. Ming-9 still stood there motionless. His group quickly stepped in and ran back. They ignored those people fleeing. Du, having turned into an egg, spoke up. D. You surely saw the red person who killed your mother. Didn't you? He widened his eyes in disbelief. What? 0, what are you saying? He offered his speculation. Xiao Luan lied to you. That red person is named Long AI, one of those 7 red people. But D still didn't believe. Don't you try to cause a rift. You are the fake Dongnan, a copy, right? Hearing that, Du just laughed sarcastically. No wonder there was a strange sense of distance on this journey. But it seems you guys are mistaken. He spoke the words he had hidden for so long. I am just a parasite in the head of a copy. I am still that 0. He frowned, jaw dropping, and asked back. What? You mean Dongnan is a copy? Du nodded, he had noticed it before, that's right. I have always been researching the matter of copies. And had the goal of parasitizing his brain. As long as it involves a copy. I think of every way to exploit it, or. On Ming Nine's side, he ran as fast as the wind. Sticking close to him without leaving. Cooperate. Black egg on his head. Suddenly turned black. It cried out in panic but no one answered. Xiao Luan, what to do? I can't move. Are we trapped? Xiao Luan, answer me, Xiao Luan. Xiao Luan stood in a motionless posture, unresponsive. Those controlled people also stood still and motionless. The egg on his head turned glowing. Immediately after, Di turned back to his original form. Du saw him rushing off and spoke up. Di, why dirash? That person hasn't gone far yet. Di didn't care. Forget him. I must ask Xiao Luan clearly what this is all about. Did he lie to me? Seeing that, Du also transformed back and asked doubtfully, lied to you? He didn't listen anymore and ran into the gate immediately. Just stepping out, he saw Guiji walking towards Xiao Luan. What's wrong with you? Seeing the two, it recounted happily, Di, Guiji. Xiao Luan, he doesn't react anymore. He asked, what exactly happened? Black Egg began to recount what just happened. Xiao Luan wanted to take advantage of when the egg person created a clone. To snatch his container. Who knew, before even touching it, he became like this. He has absolutely no reaction anymore. Hearing that, her expression changed drastically. Let's not stand here discussing. Leave here first, then talk. Saying that, Di walked over, picked him up, and ran. Inside the gate. He looked forward. His eyes suddenly became spirited, glancing around. Immediately, Yen hurriedly ran off. He quickly reached the gate. Stepped in without hesitation and went out. Yen looked around in bewilderment. Not a single person. The ecology here is changing every hour, every moment. It's completely different from before we arrived. It tilted its head, asking somewhat uncertainly, are you sure? He replied, Tao Lok. Can you distinguish the location? It started explaining for Yen to understand. As long as young Master Longming's body remains, I can distinguish it. Hearing that, he understood somewhat and nodded, okay. We must quickly find Longming's body. Find the inner heart and leave this life egg. Return to our world. Tao Lok immediately scanned the surroundings and then quickly moved. Yen on this side, he nodded and followed, The scene changed, revealing a gloomy forest. His group hid in a tree hollow. Di checked Xiao Luan's body, frowning. Strange, the stuff on the outside has dissolved. Why is Xiao Luan still like he's lost his soul? Black Egg muttered loud enough for everyone to hear. Clearly I am fine. Why is Xiao Luan still like this? Suddenly, she walked over and grabbed his wrist. He looked at this action suspiciously. Guiji, what do you want to do? She didn't say a word. Immediately cut a wound on Xiao Luan's hand. Blood flowed out, but he didn't cry out at all. Even the sensation of pain was not felt. Di angrily slapped Guiji's hand away. He clenched his hand and scolded her. Damn woman, you hurt him again. Guiji ignored it, just turned and said, the situation is urgent now. I'm afraid his life is also gone. Di heard this, didn't feel sorry, but shouted louder. Even so, you can't hurt him. Du, sitting in a corner keeping watch, turned to look at him. Di, now is not the time to lose your temper. He gritted his teeth and interrupted. You are afraid he will become a burden, aren't you? Fine, I will take him. If you want to go, just go. She frowned, burden? I don't think so. Seeing the two still not silent, he shouted, enough. Is this the time to argue? Guiji stood up straight, looking into his eyes. Di, I'll say the ugly part first. If my life is threatened, I will only look out for myself. He frowned, just snorted coldly. Suddenly Du, looking worried, warned. There's movement outside. Don't make a sound. All three tensely looked into the distance. In the distance, the sound of iron chains clanking against each other was heard. In everyone's view, a dark egg appeared dragging a coffin. The video ends here. If you guys find it good, please hit the like button to support Gao. Thank you and goodbye everyone.